All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live again. We have gone over the news. If you couldn't get the vibe already, it's a lot of relief. We went from looking over the edge to now all of a sudden, Powell ain't getting fired. He's going to go very easy on China. And this little rally that we were kind of looking for after Easter, it is holding up. After Easter. So, there it is. So we'll see where it is, but should be a wild day again. Yesterday was the second biggest day on the SPY since the election. All the earnings have been good, and then even if the earnings are bad, I'm looking at you, Elon. My earnings were bad, but I'm going to significantly step back, and that'll be good. So, yeah, the affordable EV is still on track. Thank you. So, yeah, even Tesla's still up. And now the bonds are catching a bid. So, you got a lot of relief. We'll see where this leads us. We are at Wednesday, but let's get it, baby. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, you're the great band? Well, honestly, you're lucky. We switched over, so you only got timed out, but it lets you come back. So, yeah, just don't. That's it. You see what you started, Finra? That's it, Finra. Finra's been here from 2018, so that's why I didn't really, clap him too heavy. But then, Finra, you brought out the hoe in somebody. You know what I'm saying? You brought the hoe at them in the morning. But we only got 15 seconds. I got a couple of plays. I'd watch Boeing, VRT, Tesla, Reddit, Qubits, BMY, Coca-Cola, and Bitcoin. Amen. Amen. So that's it, baby. 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Fight. All right. I'm mad I sold my Boeings. I only have one set left, but remember, if you had that Boeing and you held it, that hit. Woo! And then we'll see where everything else is at. But, yeah, those are good. You're going to kill them Qs. Oh, wow. Bro, them SoFis. What the fuck? Yo, make those SoFis free. What? Yeah, them SoFis ripping. Let me see that one. All right. I made SoFi free. We had one of those old ones from last week. That's crazy, bro. Those just went 300%. That's why, hence my reaction. Oh, yeah, make those free. Netflix, yeah, airlines, keep an eye on China. Remember, we got a couple of those Baba plays, but that's big. Yo, that NVIDIA, your free NVIDIA, it expires this week. That one came back to green. I think I'm going to dump it, sadly. Oh, shoot, no, we're in the money. That's why it's green. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Coca-Cola, watch out for those. Again, the RFK stuff. I thought that was interesting. I wish those Boeings. Actually, Boeing's not open yet, huh? Or is that just my contract? Yeah, they're not open yet. I was going to say, I don't have any gains there. They're going to try to hoe it. If you held those Aprils, that should be near the money. Again, that old NVIDIA, you either make that free or you ride it because you're in the money now. So that's up to you. But that play was dead. That play was down 70%. So remember, we flipped it last week on Friday and we got a free one out of it. But it was worth like $200. So I don't know. Do what you want with that one. But I think that's just a matter of, do you like the app or the NVIDIAs or not? And again, SoFi's interesting. Dollar Tree as well. Bob is not open. Yeah, I don't see those moving either. All the B tickers haven't opened up yet. So there's a couple options. Make SoFi free, though. It's literally 300%. I don't know how. Like, what did SoFi do, bro? SoFi's up 6%? I guess that makes sense. Pizza is going up, too. You guys know I ordered it last night? Oh, I have updates. I have to tell you. I was pleasantly surprised and disappointed. Boeing is now open. A Bobo. All right, yo, honestly, the other plays that we made free are up still. 100% spread. If you kept the ones that I sold yesterday, bleh. Oh, sorry, they went up 1,000%. I just threw up a little bit in my mouth. Yeah, 500% on the ones I sold yesterday for 20%. Sorry, a little vomit is in my mouth. I didn't, yeah, that's what happens. Mm-hmm. Oh, the plays are up a lot, but it's not too bad. What? I'm on the wrong ass play. Actually, where's it at? Oh, yeah, bro. You're so right. We have 10 a.m. BESSENT. Stop it. Yeah, you have 10 a.m. BESSENT. State of the state of the financial system or whatever. You're so right. Yeah, that's going to be another little relief catalyst potentially. Or he could fuck it up. All right, I made another one. Oh, where's Baba? I haven't looked at those yet. The Babas are down. So the Babas are literally around the same price. It's all free. But if you guys remember that move yesterday. Okay, the Boeing. Oh, they just clapped. The Boeings are 100% on the May ones, but the spread is just very, very wide. Nvidia's still up. Raw does that. Again, there's Boeing now, 175. We would have been in the money. I know. And the SPY calls yesterday, too, if you held them. They were 534s. So my shitty SPY play, remember the one, we were even down on it, 30%. I sold out for a small gain. But if you held that till today, that's 1,000%er. Easy. You're in the money by, like, actually multiple 1,000%. EU Dombrovsky, EU stands by existing trade partners and intends to deepen them. Oh, yeah, even SAP I sold early. Did those hit? I didn't think they would. I love it, baby. There's some moves. Again, this relief is very, very good. Oh, the SAPs did go up 200%, even out the money. So they all hit. Yeah, the flash PMIs are going to be interesting. They shouldn't be important, but everybody is on watch right now. I was surprised by that. I heard a lot more people talk about PMIs coming into the AM, and I really was not expecting that. I thought it was going to be a little different. Mobileye. Oh, didn't Mobileye have some news? I'm pretty sure they had something. All right. So only took profits. I made one other play, and then we wait for a little. Netflix. And remember, Netflix led the... Oh, I haven't seen it. Donald Trump. I am suing the law firms Perkins Coie. I don't know who that is. I don't know if they have a stock. But yeah, Trump, Truth Social, suing Perkins Coie for egregious and unlawful acts, particular conduct of specific members of the firm. Obama appointed. She ruled against me in the past. Trump derangement syndrome. No justice. I'm scanning through it. Is it related to the Russian hoax? All right. Oh, Palantir. We were talking about that. That was one of the risk-on plays that surprisingly held up very well. So good, man. I'm glad you got a hit on that. Baba. Okay, which one? Oh, yeah. Where is Bitcoin, dude? Yeah, you just came down a little. I mean, we have a lot of gains, and just keep in mind, remember, last time you were at this level and we moved up a lot, you actually just dumped. I don't know if you guys recall that. So last time you had this like little rally and you were feeling good. White House considers slashing China tariffs to de-escalate war. Yo, I got a Wall Street Journal rumor. This one is very interesting. Oh, yeah, they're moving it. Yo, that's going to hit, bro. Ah! Oh, I whiffed it. Bro, you can't even market order this shit. Yeah, they're scamming. Yo, I got the rumor. Wall Street Journal. Go. I already grabbed some. I'm in those. That's it, bro. I'm already doubled up. Holy shit. Yeah, Wall Street Journal rumor on Trump walking back China. It's on my wire. Exclusive. Got you. Oh, yeah. That hit, bro. I just made it back. Let's go. I got to make those free, but I'm still holding, believe it or not. Usually I've made it free by this point. Yo, what the fuck is happening? It's like slowing down. Yeah, it's a rumor. It'll eventually get walked back, but look at that reaction. All right. All right, I just got $1,000 worth of free dailies. I could have made a lot more off of it, but I want to make them free. So yeah, that's it. I got a shit ton of dailies now. That's it. I'm done. That's great. I'm going to hold those. White House considers slashing tariffs to de-escalate trade war. Wall Street Journal. So again, you're going to find out the next part of it, but that would, dude, do you guys see they lagged it? I whiffed it because I saw the ask only said 1, so I got scared to market order it, and I was like, what the fuck? But dude, it lagged. They did not pop the premiums like they did that other time. So yeah, be careful though. This is going to be, I think it's just a rumor and it hit, but let it kind of do its thing there. Wow. All right, hold on. I'm going to sell 5 more of them. I don't want 10. I want more money. Or should I hold it? No, I'm going to sell it. Hold on. Wait. Wait. Dude, they keep moving up. Yeah, China tariffs could be cut in some cases by more than half. All right, I sold 5 more. So I only have like $600 now of it. 500. I cut half. That was free. Again, the first part, it was up there for a little bit more. That was quick. Yeah. All right, in and out. But now we got the first news hit and play of the day. Now we got some free ones. But yeah, no, dude, it was weird. I was a little slow. There's another one. Why? Donald Trump, not to try to find Powell, lawyers were studying legal options, sources say. After BESSENT and Lutnick raised concerns, they backed down. Fastest in the world. I do think so. I do think we were just really quick on that. We were so quick, the premiums didn't go up, dude. I'm telling you, I just yelled out rumor, and then you had like 30 seconds, bro. I was shocked. Dude, I fucked up my trades, and I still fucking hit a bag. Oh, my goodness. White House levies could be cut by more than half. It is rumor. I mean, yeah, that is it. But this is, again, it's Wall Street Journal. So it's not like I'm the one putting out the rumor, okay? I'm just hearing about it first. Literally, I'm just getting to you within seconds. So I had that one just way ahead, given that hit my other wire really quick. Oh, yeah, the other NVIDIA in the money. I forgot about that. Yeah, Germany 10-year bond pop in. Thank you for Micron. You hit that yesterday? Good. Good. All right, you're moving back up. We got some free ones. All the premiums are still up. They have not dropped. I love it. Actually. Yo, dude, there's something weird on all these dailies. They're not, bro. I haven't seen this in a long time, actually. Bro, all the asks are very low. So hold on. China Foreign Minister Yi, in meeting with Iranian counterpart, U.S. abusive tariffs in popularity, isolated itself. U.S. eyes 100% China levy for items strategic to U.S. interest. That's the part of that Wall Street Journal headline. No, but like I'm looking at the asks, and like you see like the level 2, but most of the contracts, they only have 1. It's very, very odd. So there's not hundreds and thousands of them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like there's only 1 option. So there's no depth, which makes it difficult. Oh, yo, why did deck? Yeah, you're right. Last time you called it out, it was like fake. But yeah, why is that thing going up? What the fuck? Oh, shit. Yeah, bro. Those hit. That deck is actually there. And RH? That's weird if deck and RH are both going in tandem. Oh, shit. I made another play, though. Hold on. But, yeah, I sold the deck. I got one of them left. Please hold. And then I got a shitty play for you guys. Okay, I'm sending you guys on the stream alert one of the plays. Oh, what? Botsky! I wasn't even looking over. China foreign minister holding talks with all parties, including U.S. on unclear issue. Oh, let's go, baby. Grab 25.49s at 4 cents. TLT for one, baby. Let's go. Not losing a day this week if you don't value this, man. Check yourself. I love it, baby. See, man, look at that. Look at that, man. Hey, man, he paying the plug. He's in core real estate, too. He's a man, bro. He killing it. I love it. And make those decks free. Bro, what the fuck? What a day. What a morning, you guys. We had a lot of plays. We sold out early on, so if you held them, they went up. We woke up to some gains. We just got that rumor. Now we got random-ass plays going up. S&P PMI 50.7. What? There's 49. European credit risk extend on Trump. Service PMI 51.4 versus 52. But manufacturing beat. So that's surprising, but it is in contraction. That's what I was shocked by. And then services missed, and then composite missed. So that might be good. Watch the bonds. Yeah, bro, that deck just disappeared. That was a glitch, bro. I don't get it. Well, deck is up 5. We had these old options. Okay, now it's coming. Something's going on with deck. Watch deck in RH or that whole industry. Or like even Nike. Or maybe it's the Vietnam thing, bro. That's hella weird. Baba printing? Oh, yeah, we should have played that on the headline. I forgot. We already have Baba plays, but, you know, playing the direct China one. Yeah, the Babas are back up. You're back up to 100% on the ask from yesterday's move. So not any craziness, but we still got some exposure. Oh my gosh, dude. Do you guys not see these SoFis? Bro, SoFi, 3 cents to 18 right now. I have to sell another set. I'm sorry. See, I don't give a fuck if I sell early, you guys. What do you mean? Just keep paying me. Y'all don't feel me. Yeah, I'm selling another half of this SoFi. Dude, that's crazy. Oh, I think we had another set. Okay, well, I did my job today. Now you just take your profits or gamble as you please. And then get a long term, bro. China foreign minister opposes resorting to force and illegal unilateral sanctions. And this one for Baba. Thank you, my friend. You have no idea, bro. You've been a light in many other ways. So the fact you're doing good makes me happy. And then you paying the plug, dude. Stop it. I know, bro. That was crazy. We should have hit. I whiffed the rumor, bro. I still made a good amount, but we had that, bro. In dramatic fashion. Again, those SoFis are, again, 500-600%. Again, you still have the NVIDIA. I might dump the NVIDIA now. Because we have that in the money NVIDIA. Oh, Tesla flushing. Yeah, let's do it. Let's dump the NVIDIA. I like it, and I think you could hold it, but, you know, it's not worth it. We'll just play the other one, so let's take some money. I'm fine. That's my idea, though, so actually sorry for even telling you anything. I don't want to influence you. All right, you're still going up. Again, spy calls are still green, bro. It's fucking crazy. Oh, did you guys get the shitty play? I forgot about that. I posted a shitty play as well. They're actually down. So they're not going up, but they're holding. Now they're moving. But yeah, other plays are still same price from when we got the flip. And then shitty out the monies have not moved yet. Nike's killing it, bro. Again, NVO doing a little bit. Where's pizza, man? Pizza! Yalla, habibi. Reddit. Dude, we have good Reddit plays, but they haven't moved. That one's the only one. So I had a bunch of those Reddit plays, but they didn't pop, even though Reddit's up like 10 or something. Yeah, yesterday I made more on Reddit than today. So this move made me more on Reddit options than this gap up, dude. Like, what? And then they're coming into earnings. And my play covers earnings. So it's just mad out the money, but maybe it'll lag. That's what happened with the SQs earlier in the week. I don't know if the recession's over, but a lot of relief. We talked about on the watch list yesterday. You guys better get used to this. I think it's choppy until there's a non-debatable pivot. It's going to be very choppy. We were literally just looking over the edge yesterday, thinking it was, and then they just walk it all back. So we'll see, but it's going to be there. You whiffed. I had the news. I knew it was the rumor, but the asks started tripping me out because I was going to market order it. But last time I tried to market on big news, I took a big loss. Remember on the Trump day? And then I was able to pivot to a call, so I had to move to limit. Then I hit the wrong button. Then I had to backspace, and then by the time I got into it, I even gave up some percentages, but it was good. That was very juicy. All right, man. Long term doing good again too. This is weird. All of a sudden, everyone feels good. How long will it last? I just made a spy play. I flipped it in a minute. That's it. I was in and out. I didn't even have time to. I had time to stream alert the headline, but I was in and out before anything. That's it. I had it on my wire. We got it really early, and that news was so fresh. The market didn't jack it up. That's why, even though I whiffed it, you still had the time. But yeah, it was just getting the rumor on walking back China. We knew it was a rumor, and then yeah, we flipped it and call it a day. BESSENT is going to be in 10 minutes, actually, I believe. So we'll see. Bro, you're about to hit 1,000% on those SoFis. Actually kind of blowing my mind right now. Those really rocketed. Babas are moving too on the ask. Baba just has widespread Boeings. Back to Cali. The Boeings came down, actually. Yeah, Boeing's chilling. Microsoft's trying to move up. Baba's still on the high. There's Netflix. Grab a croissant. You just had PMI, too. All right, you're starting to go up. Again, we've just been holding it. Premiums are weird, yeah. It's been like that because we're in chop zone, and then you're doing this little walk back, and then literally a lot of these names to the upside, bro, I think they're buying them. Like I'm telling you, Wall Street hates you. If you haven't noticed the theme so far, just like 2022, they dumped the market on this random fear after being up. They all literally sandbag their estimates because the stocks are down 40%. So then they're like, oh, yeah, earnings are going to be terrible. And then none of the earnings have been terrible. And then they just start upgrading them and buy the fucking dip. Because okay, coming back down. That's probably the rumor getting shot down. Hold on. It's a one quick red candle, your first one in a while. No. I don't see anything yet. But remember, the first part, this was just Wall Street Journal, so I do think it is susceptible to get clapped. Nah, you might have another most hated rally around July. Because, again, whatever we're going through, like I told you guys, last week, the He Is Risen rally. There was word on the street that there could be, in the cards, a temporary short-term rally, especially since we were holding up the little 90-day walk back. That's why the other day was scary when we got to the edge, but I don't think I don't think we're out of the woods just yet. Even if you had a temporary bounce, temporary is the key word. But I do think June, July, we'll have a lot clearer of an outlook of where we're going to end by the end of the year. But even then, I do still think end of the year is going to come with fireworks. Well, it's just going to be choppy. I think I really am starting to believe that. And that's what we talked about yesterday on the watch list. Speed. And the speed of it. Because, yeah, dude, we were just looking over the edge, bro. You know what I'm saying? We were just, that little, dude, I'm telling you, every day I have seen the dollar collapse, yields go up, and everybody run to safe havens. I've reacted the same, and you should too. That's not normal shit. And that's why I was like, man, that happened 48 hours ago. And then all of a sudden, we're walking shit back, and now everybody wants to upgrade things. So I just think until it becomes non-debatable, we're going to do this back and forth. It's going to be really choppy. Again, even 2022 wasn't, it was just quick up, quick down, look over the edge. Now you're good. Then you're not. Then you're looking over the edge again. Then you look back. Then you're safe. And then but it's just going to be really, really choppy. So as long as you're prepared for that, I think you'll be fine. But it is definitely more challenging than not. Yeah, Tesla's plummeting, bro. Like, this is what I was telling you guys yesterday. I think the follow-up move might be bigger. Okay, your spy's at VWAP. All right, no headline on that one. Remember yesterday, this kind of looks like yesterday. You guys remember when the BESSENT comments came in, and then like an hour later, Politico was like, oh, it'll take months. But yeah, there's no other update yet. That hasn't been walked back. We just had the China stuff. And then you heard from China Foreign Minister Yi. And then we are waiting for Scott Bessent in about 5 minutes. Bunch agree. Yeah, a lot of those SoFi's just slashed. Still up a lot. Let me check this SPY place. The out the money's got washed right away. Yeah, those are down. And then the one, where's the free ones? What? Yeah, the free ones are down 20, 30% now. So now they're back to they're still jacked up though. So I had these plays way, way lower. Yeah, bro, it's insane. They're still up a shit ton. It's not like, so from the certain price is down, but it's still holding the news jack premium. That fucked everything, to be honest. It's good that we made money on that one, but that is going to fuck up everything. Him's on the high. What? That looks so much bigger on the high ticker. Never mind. Is it lagging? Yeah, Hims looked like it said $29. Bessent is coming on any minute now. Hey, yo. All day, baby. Pay the plug. Thank you for that fast spy nose and 10 shares of pizza. Woo! I love it, man. I'm a big fan of pizza, man. It's wicked on my screen. Is it? Dude, I was saying that high ticker move looked crazy. Yeah, it wicked up to 29. So Bessent is going to be on any moment now. So get ready for that. That'll be our next little driver. Markets pair rate cuts on ECB. Why is my YouTube not loading? So please hold. WLSD and then MSTR on the low? What's going on there? Bitcoin? Or? Eli Lilly sold down 20 points. They've been doing good. Did NVO go with it or no? No, they're holding. Hard market, but patience and taking profits works. I mean, amen, bro. You know, don't get too mad. That's why we're saying you can miss some stuff or take shit too early. But in this market where nothing is promised, I wouldn't stress on it. Yeah, MSTR, it's still green on the day, but that was moving down. Again, we're getting ready for Mr. BESSENT. Mr. BESSENT. All right, so any minute now he should be on here. And then, yeah, I have a couple of feeds ready. Oh, dude, I didn't think about it. Be on the lookout for pre-written statements. Yeah, watch out. So even though we got that little move, that might be in the cards, you guys. I don't know. I cannot confirm, but he's about to begin at this conference. But sometimes when these guys go to speak, there's a pre-written statement. I don't know if there's going to be a Q&A, but if that pre-written statement comes out, that could move the market before he even goes live. So be aware of that. I would have up a couple of plays if you're into that, or be ready to strike, essentially. Bro, these plays were terrible. All these plays were like 7 cents, 3 cents, and they're now at 30, 40 cents. All of them. Kind of crazy. All right, new home sales, 724,000 versus 684. All right, look, I feel like that's a pre-written statement move right there. Like I was telling you, but new home sales just killed it. Literally, new home sales just rocketed to 7% versus 1 previous. So new home sales were up a lot. But hold on, I think this is pre-written statement because I don't see Homeboy yet. Oh, I got one live video. We got music. All right, now you're rocking. This has to be pre-written statement. IMF must prioritize financial and economic sustainability. Yep. Says Trump admin wants to work with IMF and World Bank. Like I just told y'all, that was the signal. Good thing I didn't forget. That's why I said have those spies ready to go, because that pre-written statement is coming out now. So again, I don't know why it's tweaking out. It sounds both good and bad, but it's just tweaking. RTX on the high. IMF must prioritize financial stability. IMF and World Bank serve critical roles. Her sister candle. No, it's Scott BESSENT. It's not Jerome Powell. BESSENT says America first does not mean America alone. Okay, that's a good comment. Or I think that fights against the whole Sell America theme. Okay, so again, all right, we got intro. Very weird.
Of Treasury.
So pre-written statements are coming out.
2025,
now the intro.
Scott
We're
BESSENT
getting live.
was sworn in as the 79th Secretary of the Treasury of the United States. As Secretary, Mr. BESSENT is responsible for the U.S. Treasury's wide-ranging mission to maintain a strong economy, foster economic growth, and create job opportunities for all Americans by promoting the conditions that enable prosperity at home and abroad, as well as managing the U.S. government's finances. He is also responsible for strengthening U.S. national security by combating economic threats and protecting the financial system. Mr. BESSENT has been in the global investment management business for 40 years, visiting 60 countries, interacting with international leaders and central bankers. He is regarded as a currency and fixed income specialist. Mr. BESSENT is also a frequent contributor to economic journals and business publications. Secretary BESSENT will deliver keynote remarks followed by an in-conversation session.
If China wants to play a role in economy, they must
stage
commensurate with its actual
Secretary
importance.
BESSENT, the stage is yours.
I'm just going to read you what he's going to say because it's already out. In the developing world, the country is absurd. The second largest economy is developing. World Bank must set firm graduation timelines to end lending to countries that have long met graduation criteria. If China wants to play a role, they must actually have their importance. China can start reform by moving economy away from export overcapacity towards supporting its own consumer and domestic demand. Not every country is deserving. All right, I'm just going to play him.
High up in the mountains of New Hampshire,
nothing.
They laid the
it sounds like he's hitting China and then
Americana.
being nice to the rest of the world.
Architects of
That's the
Bretton
vibe I'm
Woods
getting so far.
recognized that
That's
a
why we
global
haven't really
economy
moved
required
It's doing the back and
global
forth. There's like good and
coordination.
bad tied into
To
it.
encourage that coordination, they created the IMF and the World Bank. These twin institutions were born after a period of intense geopolitical and economic volatility. The purpose of the IMF and the World Bank was to better align national interest with international order, thereby bringing stability to an unstable world. In short, their purpose was to restore and preserve balance. This remains the purpose of the Bretton Woods institutions. Yet everywhere we look across the international system today, we see imbalance. The good news, it doesn't have to be this way.
They're going to like
My
hearing
goal
that.
this morning is to outline a blueprint to restore equilibrium to the global financial system and the institutions designed to uphold it. I have spent the bulk of my career from the outside looking in on financial policy
Oh,
circles.
shit, bro.
Now
Yeah, if we
I am
get
on the
past
inside looking
549,
out.
that's the
I am eager to
Liberation
work
Zone,
with each
Liberation
of
Day
you to
breakout.
restore order
Or the
to
walkback,
international
excuse me.
system. To achieve this, however, we must first reconstruct the IMF and World Bank reconnect the IMF and the World Bank with their founding missions. The IMF and World Bank have enduring value, but mission creep has knocked these institutions off course. We must enact key reforms to ensure the Bretton Woods institutions are serving their stakeholders, not the other way around. Bringing balance back to global finance will require clear-eyed leadership from the IMF and World Bank. This morning, I will explain how they can provide that leadership to build safer, stronger, and more prosperous economies all around the world. I wish to invite my international counterparts to join us in working toward these goals. On this point, I wish to be clear. America first does not mean America alone.
Okay, that's the one
To
we
the
got.
contrary, it is a call for deeper collaboration and mutual respect among trade partners. Far from stepping back, America First seeks to expand U.S. leadership in international institutions like the IMF and the World Bank. By embracing a stronger leadership role, America First seeks to restore fairness to the international economic system. Nowhere is the imbalance I mentioned earlier more obvious than in the world of trade. That's why the United States is taking action now to rebalance global commerce. For decades, successive administrations relied on faulty assumptions that our trading partners would implement policies that would drive a balanced global economy. Instead, we face the stark reality of large and persistent U.S. deficits as a result of an unfair trading system. Intentional policy choices by other countries have hollowed out America's manufacturing sector and undermined our critical supply chains, putting our national and economic security at risk. President Trump has taken strong actions to address these imbalances and the negative impacts they have on Americans. This status quo of large and persistent imbalances is not sustainable. It is not sustainable for the United States, and ultimately, it is not sustainable for other economies.
Yo, I think this is
Now,
where
I
they
know
got their rumor
sustainability
yesterday.
is a popular term around here. But
White
I'm not
House
talking
officials
about
say
climate
China
change or
levy
carbon
changes
footprints.
wouldn't be
I'm talking
unilateral.
about economic and financial stability, the kind of sustainability that
So think about it. You remember how yesterday that J.P.
and
Morgan
keeps
event?
markets afloat.
I think he was just sharing this, what he was going to say here.
Institutions must be singularly
content sounds
focused
similar.
on upholding this kind of sustainability if they are to succeed in their missions. In response to President Trump's tariff announcements, more than 100 countries have approached us, wanting to help
100?
rebalance global trade.
Oh,
These
wait. They said
countries have
17
responded
negotiations
openly
yesterday,
and
100
positively
approach.
to the President's actions to create a more balanced international system. We are engaged in meaningful discussions and look forward to talking with others. China, in particular, in particular, is in need of a rebalancing. Recent data shows the Chinese economy tilting even further away from consumption toward manufacturing. China's economic system, with growth driven by manufacturing exports,
Pony AI, that thing's running. Spy trying to move up.
Imbalances with its trading partners if the status quo is allowed to continue. China's current economic model is built on exporting its way out of its economic troubles.
Again, this is what Lagarde was saying yesterday, and I was surprised.
China,
if you remember that.
The entire world. China needs to change. The country knows it needs to change. Everyone knows it needs to change, and we want to help it change because we need rebalancing too. China can start by moving its economy away from export overcapacity and towards supporting its own consumers and domestic demand. Such a shift would help with global rebalancing that the world desperately needs. Of course, trade is not the only factor in broader global economic imbalances. The persistent over-reliance on the United States for demand is resulting in an ever more unbalanced global economy. Some countries' policies
UNH and Humana, healthcare plays moving.
Which holds back.
I don't know if it's news or if it's just doing its own thing. They all just moved in tandem.
Others keep wages artificially depressed.
And RTX.
Also suppresses
Jake from State Farm, baby.
These practices contribute to global dependence on U.S. demand to spur growth.
So I'm talking
they
about.
Also lead to a global economy that is weaker and more vulnerable than it should be. In Europe, former ECB President Mario Draghi has identified several sources of stagnation, and he has outlined several recommendations to get the European economy back on the right track. European countries would do well to take his recommendations to heart.
Several OPEC members want to approve another accelerated output for oil. You got an OPEC rumor right now.
These steps create a new
that's why
source of global demand.
Whoever called that out, you literally right now. Reuters
on the security front.
Look at oil.
I believe
OPEC
global
rumor
economic relationships
from Reuters. So take that how you please. Probably gonna be fake.
Security partners are more likely to have compatible economies structured for mutually beneficial trade.
Why is BNTX going crazy?
Offering security guarantees and open markets.
BNTX pop at the high.
Must step up with stronger commitments to shared defense. The initial actions from Europe on increased fiscal defense spending.
Palant's moving on that defense comment.
Policies.
Literally, it was already up 8%, but right when he said European defense,
and the U.S. Treasury are committed to maintaining and expanding U.S.
and NOC. All defense names are moving. RTX. I already had that one up.
At the international financial institutions, the IMF and World Bank serve critical roles in the international system, and the Trump administration is eager to work with them so long as they can stay true to their missions. And under the status quo, they are falling short. The Bretton Woods institutions must step back from their sprawling and unfocused agendas.
Again, I have lessons on Bretton Woods on the trading fraternity. If you guys are interested,
going forward,
prepare yourselves.
The Trump administration will leverage
you don't have to listen to Bloomberg. You could go research history and understand it yourself.
To accomplish their very important mandates. The United States will also demand that the management and staffs of these institutions be accountable for demonstrating real progress. I invite all of you to join us in working to refocus these institutions on their core missions. It is in our collective interest to do so. The IMF.
All of them are on a playlist.
We must make the IMF again. The IMF's mission is to promote international monetary cooperation, facilitate the balanced growth of international trade,
takes you to this channel,
encourage economic growth, and discourage
Econ Lessons 2024.
Like competitive exchange rate.
We talk about Bretton Woods, partisan model, exchange rates, everything, bro. 13 chapters.
Instead, the IMF has suffered from mission creep. The IMF was once unwavering in its mission of promoting global monetary cooperation and financial stability. Now it devotes disproportionate time and resources to work on climate change, gender, and social issues.
Yeah, he's low-key shitting.
These issues are not the IMF's mission. And the IMF's focus in these areas is crowding out its work on critical macroeconomic issues. The IMF must be a brutal truth teller and not just to some members. Today, the IMF has been whistling past the graveyard. Its 2024 external sector report was entitled Imbalances Receding. This Pollyannish outlook is symptomatic of an institution more dedicated to preserving the status quo than answering the hard questions. Here in the United States, we know we need to get our fiscal house in order. The last administration ran up the largest peacetime deficit in our nation's history. The current administration is committed to fixing this. We are open to critique, but we will not abide the IMF failing to critique the countries that most need it, principally surplus countries. In line with its core mandate, the IMF needs to call out countries like China that have pursued globally distorted policies and opaque currency
Dow,
practices
25
for many
names green,
decades.
5 names red.
I also expect the IMF to call out
NASDAQ,
unsustainable
92
lending
green,
practices by
8 in the
certain
red.
creditor countries. The IMF
Just call China a
should push
predator?
more proactively
SPY is up 440,
official
63 in the red.
bilateral lenders
Okay, it's
to
starting
come
to go down.
the table early to work with borrower countries to minimize periods of debt distress. The IMF must refocus its lending on addressing balance of payment problems. And
Balance
its
of
lending
payments.
should be temporary.
These are all in the economic
when done
lessons.
responsibly, IMF lending is at the very core.
And you're right at the
of
level.
its
This is that key
contribution
level.
to the
Remember, we
global
dumped from here
economy.
last time.
When markets fail, the IMF steps in
Don't say
and
that.
makes resources available.
Aklo popping.
In exchange, countries implement economic reforms to resolve their balance of payments issues and support economic growth. The reforms undertaken during these programs are some of the IMF's most important contributions.
Yo, I'm
to a
getting
strong,
another one.
Sustainable and balanced.
There's another headline coming. It says White House would look at lowering tariffs on Chinese imports, pending talks with Beijing. Source: it would be in conjunction with China, not unilateral. There's another China thing coming out right now.
The IMF
Another rumor.
efforts to help the country reset financially. Argentina deserves the IMF
So just like
support
yesterday, you get
because
one,
the country
and
is
then now
making
little
real
cold water is
progress
being poured
toward
on it.
meeting financial benchmarks. But not every country is so deserving. The IMF must hold countries accountable for implementing
they
economic
killed those
reforms.
plays.
And sometimes,
So the free ones, I'm glad I took the other one, but the other
IMF
5 are
needs to
just
say no.
they're dead.
The organization has no
Still up, but
obligation
you had
to
way
lend to
more money. You had
countries
300-400%
that fail
more
to implement
a couple
reforms.
minutes ago.
Economic stability and growth should be the markers of the IMF's success, not how much money the institution lends out. World Bank. Like the IMF, the World Bank must be made fit for purpose again. The World Bank Group
Yeah, bro, I don't think
helps
this is
developing
good.
countries grow their economies.
He is not
reduce
talking
poverty,
about,
increase private investment support.
Like, he's
private
not
sector
calming you
job
down. He's just
creation,
shit-talking
and
the
reduce
World Bank and
dependence on
IMF.
foreign aid.
Does that make
It
sense?
offers transparent and affordable long-term
So we
financing
thought this
for
is about the
countries
state of the
to
economy.
invest
He's
in
not
their own
reassuring you.
development priorities. The
I wouldn't
bank,
say it's so
along with the
bearish. I just
fund,
don't think it's
provides
good.
extensive
And then once
technical
again,
support
maybe your
to promote
expectations,
debt
you could be a
sustainability
victim
among
because it's
low-income
just
countries,
this
which
isn't.
empowers those
He's not
countries
reassuring the
to
bond
stand
market.
up
He's
to
not
coercive
trying to
and
calm
opaque
down investors. He's
lending
literally
terms
criticizing
from other
the
creditors.
IMF and the
These
World
core
Bank.
functions of the World Bank complement the Trump administration's efforts to foster safer, stronger, and more prosperous economies in the United States and the world.
And BNTX again.
But the bank, like the IMF,
BB's.
has strayed in certain
What a
respects
day.
from its initial mission. The bank should no longer expect blank checks for vapid, buzzword-centric marketing accompanied by half-hearted commitments to reform. As the bank returns to its core mission, it must use its resources as efficiently and effectively as possible, and it must do so in ways that demonstrate tangible values for all member countries. The bank can use its resources more efficiently now by focusing on increasing energy access. Business leaders the world over identify unreliable power supply as one of the primary impediments to investment. The World Bank and African Development Bank's Joint Mission 300 initiative to expand energy access to 300 million more people in Africa is a welcome effort. But the World Bank must respond to countries' energy priorities and needs and focus on dependable technologies that can sustain economic growth rather than seek to meet distortionary climate finance targets. We applaud the recent announcement that the World Bank.
Why are you blaming him? You should blame Wall Street Journal. All the premiums were 10, 20 cents before that rumor.
Which could revolutionize energy supply
for many
emerging markets. We encourage the bank to go further in giving countries access to all technologies that can provide affordable baseload generation. The World Bank must be tech neutral and prioritize affordability in energy investment. In most cases, this means investing in gas and other fossil fuel-based energy production. In other cases, this may mean investing in renewable energy coupled with systems to help manage the intermittency of wind and solar. The history of humanity teaches a simple lesson. Energy abundance sparks economic abundance. That's why the bank should encourage an all-of-the-above approach to energy development. Such an approach will make World Bank financing more effective, and it will reconnect the bank to its core mission of economic growth and poverty alleviation. In addition to increasing energy access, the World Bank can use its resources more effectively by starting to apply its graduation policy. This would allow the bank to focus on lending to poorer, less creditworthy countries. This is where World Bank support makes the biggest difference for poverty and growth. Instead, the World Bank continues to lend every year to countries that have met the criteria to graduate from World Bank borrowing. There is no justification for this continued lending.
Yeah, bro, he's just shitting on all
resources from higher priorities and crowds out the development of private markets. It also disincentivizes countries' efforts to move away from dependency on the World Bank and toward job-rich, private sector-led growth. Going forward, the bank must set firm graduation timelines for countries that have long since met the graduation criteria. Treating China, the second largest country in the world, as a developing country is absurd. While it has been at the expense of many Western markets,
there's a lot
China's
more.
rise
Holy fuck.
has been rapid and impressive.
So he's only said that now. He just said the absurd one. If you guys remember, literally, we got the pre-written one, so there's a lot left to this probably. So there might be way more. But so far, all he's done is criticize the World Bank and IMF. This is not reassuring in that sense. All I've heard is criticism.
Countries move away
I thought it would be something different.
That prioritize only the lowest cost bids. Such procurement policies reward distortive and subsidized
watch Tesla. I just made some calls free, so
undermine development.
It should rip, which is exactly what happened.
They may also stifle the private sector and incentivize corruption and collusion and result in greater long-term cost. Procurement policies based on best value are better from both an efficiency and development perspective, and their robust implementation will benefit the bank and
There's still more to this. I was surprised.
Related to the subject,
he just got to the China absurd comment, but that was
and I emphasize
we got more
message about procurement policies as regards Ukraine. No one who financed or supplied the Russian war machine will be eligible for funds earmarked for Ukraine's reconstruction? No one. To conclude, I invite our allies to work with us as we rebalance the international financial system, refocus the IMF and World Bank on their founding charters. America First means we are doubling down on our engagement with the international economic system, including at the IMF and the World Bank.
Tesla.
A more sustainable economic system.
I sell it and it goes up another 20%.
That better serves the interests of the United States and all the other participants in the system.
Well, that was a banger.
We look forward to working with all of you in this endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I don't know if he's going to sit down and do a Q&A. They got a chair. Yes, sir. Nice. Okay, get ready. This is live. There's still more. The Q&A now.
Secretary,
this could be where we get the reassuring.
Thank all of you for coming here today. I'm going to point out you have many great lines in this very meaty, comprehensive set of remarks.
You be spitting bars, bro.
I wish to be clear. America First does not mean America alone. To the contrary, far from stepping back, you seek to expand U.S. leadership
Palantir, Tesla, SPY is just right back up. Still below the highs, though. You are kind of downtrending.
Because the concern coming into this
week, you got to break back above here.
Do exactly what you said you're not going to do, which is the U.S. will withdraw. But you want to lead. What you're asking for is simply getting back to factory settings, right? Focused approach, and deal with the issues that you see are most paramount. Correct?
Correct. As I said in my confirmation hearings, I think U.S. engagement with the international financial and multilateral institutions, we should engage and we should be in it to win it for the American people and for the rest of the countries and for the client countries.
20 years ago, a senior U.S. Treasury official gave a speech very similar to this, calling on the IMF and said the IMF was asleep at the wheel and dealing with imbalances. Hank Paulson started the Strategic Economic Dialogue with the Chinese. Every Treasury Secretary since then have had an approach. So how will you do this differently, and how do you think that you'll proceed in this approach? What is your philosophy? What is your tools, and how will you execute on this?
Well, look, I think that our moves toward reordering the financial or trading system is a start. I think that today, as I reaffirm our engagement, but set up a list of core principles and back to basics for the institutions.
Okay, you're coming right back up.
Being from the private sector, we want to see results. And we
that Tesla bounce, that was a good bottom tick. And now Verizon, again, you still have about 89, 90% up.
Global rebalancing has been a topic for more than 20 years.
Long time.
And
long time.
Some countries may have a 100-year perspective. We don't.
Yeah, I'm 100.
China obviously is an important part of this administration's.
Okay, you got it. If you get above here, it's a good sign.
You'll be meeting with your Chinese.
Like I said, all that really matters today,
homeboy.
Tell
them in the sense of how
you just got to get above. Where is it?
Aware that there's huge imbalances there.
You just got to get above 548.77 on the SPY. You break that, it's going to get crazy. If not, you're still chop.
It's about executing.
Well, I don't think I have to help them understand. I think they understand very well. And it's just a matter of impetus and will. So I believe I first went to Japan in 1990, 91, within 12 months of the peak of the bubble. A decade of that unwind, a decade of malaise. And then in 2012, I ran across a fellow, 2011, who was running for prime minister named Shinzo Abe, and he knew that Japan needed change and implemented it very quickly. 10 years later, more than 10 years later, Japan has had a remarkable economic run, and I think that our Chinese counterparts that will come to this realization, and if some of our policies, sometimes it takes an external push.
Right.
Alternatively, what I have said previously, there is an opportunity for a big deal here. that the U.S.
listen
is
to that.
looking to rebalance
Big deal.
to more
People like that.
manufacturing.
They like
the
deals.
identity of that would be less consumption. If China is serious on less dependence on export-led manufacturing growth and a rebalancing toward a domestic economy, I think they use the term dual circulation. Right. Well, right now it's really singular circulation. And if they want to rebalance,
there's opportunity for big deal. That's hitting the wire. Yeah,
incredible opportunity.
Literally, I heard it too. It's hitting the wire now. Big deal
Bridgewater
between
founder
U.S.
Ray
and China.
Dalio were to write
Opportunity.
something, he could call it a
China's
beautiful
serious.
rebalancing.
U.S. can also rebalance.
Indeed.
Yeah, just had intel. They're going
but
crazy.
A big part of that will also be our
Tesla's
own fiscal
moving.
imbalance. And as you mentioned, we're running deficit 6% of GDP at the top of the cycle. Not sustainable, as you yourself have pointed out. How important is it to also address our fiscal imbalance as part of this larger rebalancing?
Well, it's very important that
I don't know if that candle's real or not.
We're trained economists.
That wick.
Everyone knows.
I don't think it was.
That a trade deficit emanates from three things: external trade policies, which we are intent on addressing.
Is he talking unholy trinity right now?
Trade policies can be tariffs, non-tariff barriers.
I think he might.
Currency manipulation, and the state subsidy of labor and means of production. So
State subsidy is not on there.
Trade.
Whoa! What was that?
Terms of trade.
Department of Energy crude stockpile, crude data coming out. 244 versus estimate of 1.5 million.
So the
Yo, J&J
deficit, the more it creates.
J&J still red, kind of moving up. Again, oil numbers coming out right now.
Pushes up the interest rates.
Again, I think J&J, PG are some of the only names red today.
We continue to have a strong dollar.
You had bad Kimberly-Clark or BMY earnings.
And the
gasoline inventories, negative 4.4 million. Estimate was minus 1.4 million.
Everyone asks me, well, what does a strong dollar mean? And to me, the strong dollar means having the policies in place to deserve capital flows and have confidence. But it doesn't mean that the price on the Bloomberg screen every day. And it also has different meanings in terms of bilateral the prices. So it's really three-pronged. But Tim, to your question, I have talked about we did not get here quickly with this spending. The U.S. does not have a revenue problem.
Boeing earnings call. You're right.
Problem.
It happens later.
I have suggested when I first met President Trump to talk about.
I always forget and get surprised
2 years ago.
But yeah, Boeing is about to start.
We
It
need
should
to
be
get back to a long-term sustainable budget deficit of something with a 3 in front of it, which works. We have 2% nominal growth or 2% inflation, projected 1.8% growth, which I think could be much higher if we implement our economic policies.
You reaffirmed the strong dollar policy first.
Yeah, Tesla, bro, that was it.
Rubin.
That was a pullback, and now you're getting continuation.
In the 1960s, talked about U.S. exorbitant privilege of the dollar. There are some in this town who question that privilege and actually see it as a burden. Do you see it as a privilege?
That the U.S. sits at the center of the global economy is enabled by the use of dollars, and that it's natural that the usage would come down over time. And I think that the U.S. will always, for my lifetime, be the reserve currency. I actually am not sure that anyone else wants it. I can't remember, one of the European officials said today, maybe it was Mr. De Guindos, I can't remember, said, the euro could become a second reserve currency.
He said, fat chance, dog.
Substantial appreciation.
Boeing on the high, or moving. Again, earnings call just started.
It's a lot of pressure. And look, I think
I own Q. Remember, there was qubits. They had news. Quantum starting to move.
In these international
I don't know. Every quantum play just went. I don't know why.
You mentioned the euro. You mentioned in your comments Mario Draghi's report from last year. There was the letter report. Before that,
he does not sound like Yellen. No,
there does seem to be.
He sounds like the Grinch.
More, a buoyant atmosphere.
It sounds like
the
president.
An opportunity for them.
Yeah, you want to be a
I said
reserve
something about
currency?
A possible renaissance. I was heckled a bit,
Yeah,
but
screw
I
your
actually
reserve
positive on
currency.
Europe. Do you think this
Fucking
is an opportunity
who?
to shift some of that demand?
China, we
World's
can
reliant on
rebalance
US
too.
final
We'll
demand.
rebalance if they
Shift
rebalance
some
for
of
no
that demand
gifts.
for Europe. Is
No
this
gifts for no one.
a positive
Nobody.
time for Europe?
That's what he reminds me
I
of.
think it can be, and it wasn't in a straight line. It wasn't always the way a trained diplomat would have done.
Tess, I know I sold
think we
too
should all
early. I still have some,
congratulate
but
President Trump.
I would have killed
He
it.
has
Killed it.
done what a
If I got free
succession of
contracts off
European
of that
leaders
30%
has
move,
tried to do for the
they're up
past
80% now.
26 years since the advent of the euro, that whether it's the French, the Italians,
all I
other
do is
European
sell
countries have tried
early, no
to
matter
get
what.
the
And then
Germany
it goes up,
to
and then it stay there.
increase
and then
their
it stay
fiscal
there.
spend and drive the European economy, and that I applaud these nascent efforts because it's a combination. It's a combination of economic stimulus, and it is a combination
up,
of
down,
burden
up,
sharing on the European
No,
continent.
actually, though,
for
that's what I
defense.
go through.
And as I've said many times
He
before,
applauds Germany.
economic
Wow.
security is national security.
To
National
increase
security is
spending?
economic security.
The fuck?
So if this European
bro.
plan works,
Nah, fuck 'em.
that I applaud it. I had a private
Yeah,
meeting
dude, this
with
is weird. Because you literally now have BESSENT
last week, 2 weeks
applauding what Germany did, even though what they did is inflationary. And then yesterday, you had Lagarde acknowledging what BESSENT said about overcapacity in China. I think that's a really weird observation.
he said
That all, like literally, he's
surprised with where we go.
clapping up Germany, and then again, Lagarde yesterday kind of was hinting at what he said. I think that's a good sign.
What do you want to hear from them?
Well, again, I think it's just been mission creep,
Yeah.
and just occasionally you have to trim your garden when the weeds grow, and I think that
Just murder all the
it's back to
snakes.
basics. What are our priorities?
How you take care of the
and how
garden.
are we going to judge success?
And the World Bank you discussed about graduating
Bank.
the medium-sized countries that should have graduated some time ago. That changes the commercial model of the World Bank.
Hey,
But
everything,
obviously
bro.
you think
They
that's important.
clapped those
They
spy
need to be
calls
graduated.
from the 1,000% premium,
I mean, it's just,
but now they're
as
back
President
up. But
Trump
you're
says,
still
it's
a little
common
lower.
sense
The
that-
shitty plays are down,
that you
and
can't
then
have the second
any
largest
individual
economy in
bottom
the
tick
world.
fucking
And
killed it. So again, even you got
as I
other
said in
old
my
plays that
speech,
are up. So just take some
applaud their
profits if you
rapid
want. Be
growth,
smart.
But
Other than
you
that,
don't
you're
get
actually
both.
still holding. And then I only
have
got
a
one
teenager
point I
who
care about.
sometimes
You
wants
break
to
out of the 90
be
day.
treated like a child,
You get
sometimes
past
wants to be
here, man.
treated like an
548
adult.
or 54977.
And,
I got one of
That's
those
the
too.
real
Yeah.
move.
It's an adult economy.
You mentioned energy, specifically nuclear, during the campaign.
Oh,
And since you've become
nuclear.
Secretary, you've talked about
Get your
energy
SMRs and
production,
NNEs up.
Is one of your important legs. The U.S. produces about 13 million barrels
Rumble.
of oil
Look
a
at
day,
Tesla,
the largest
bro.
producer in the world. What more do we need to do here, and how can the World Bank? What do they need to do more to encourage fossil fuels as well as nuclear? And I assume all the above.
Yeah, look, the sine qua non for economic growth is energy abundance, and we need to drive the right combination of the
Tesla makes no sense. I feel you, bro. Believe me.
These countries.
This is what we talked about on the watch list last time.
In terms
And it's
of
not political, man.
sustainable,
It sucks that
production,
Tesla's so
but by
political.
sustainable,
But I
mean
remember going
robust,
through these earnings in 2022.
What I would call almost
Tesla
a
was
luxury
terrible,
belief that
but
we
it
have
is
in the
up.
West. Like they are worried about pumping water. They are worried about heating their homes, running their hospitals, and we've seen that the
CR?
intermittency.
Whoa, what's this? Crane
That's
company?
Even kind of in
It's up 5. I don't know what that is, though. Hella
developed
liquid.
countries,
CR.
maybe like South Africa that seems to have rolling blackouts.
Right.
So that's not a model. We want to have a model of strong baseload and then bolting on.
And then
the
Boeing Up $2 since the call started and moving still.
Beginning with alternative production and then having this latency or intermittency
and
that makes
Palant
it
again.
impossible to industrialize.
In the final minute or two, let me just turn to financial intermediation. You know, there's a famous adage that capitalism without capital is just another ism. The institutions you see here are important intermediaries, both in the capital markets and in other forms of financial intermediation. What is your vision, especially for the U.S. in terms of financial regulation? What
Stay alive and stay
look
liquid.
like?
Let's
Obviously,
go.
the capital markets, the U.S. is a crown jewel of this economy. How should we encourage that not only here, but abroad?
Well, I
love
think
it. I say, man, just make them free. He's making
I'm
free,
gonna give
get
you a lot
paid
of
today, bro.
questions
Today was a
on
payout.
private credit, and I think that private credit is an interesting
A holding company, CR?
addition
170
to
years old. I did not know
the
that.
U.S. Mosaic, and it is the depth and breadth of our capital and credit markets that powers the U.S. economy, and it's the innovation there. I think that private credit's a very new and interesting part, but it is happening outside of the regulated ecosystem.
Right.
And I always like to say, I'm not an economist, I'm an economic historian, and
Woo!
I think
I like that.
that is a distortion of the system.
I like that. I am an
and
economic
it tells
historian.
me that the post-2000.
Okay, you're coming down a little. No real headline. Honestly, talking good about Germany and all that. We got a little bit. You hit a high, it changed the look, but
and
we're still dancing around. 4% on the NASDAQ, though. You're in the sky, my guy.
To provide the opportunity to lend to the American economy and perhaps into the international
Watch
economy
Boeing, bro.
in a
That ever
smart,
since the
safe,
call.
and sound way.
What's GH? Guardian is up.
as you've
Healthcare
seen,
again.
the
Humana,
history
and
of
those are
financial
going
crises
silver.
is,
Yeah. Silver's on the high.
A overreaction on one side, and I think we had a regulatory overreaction. I convened something in the U.S. called FSTOC, the Financial Stability Oversight Council, which convenes the regulators, and I think through partnership with the 3 U.S. banking regulators, Federal Reserve, Controller of the Currency, and the FDIC, we can come up with a system that makes the regulated financial system prosper again. And what
GH,
the US
that's
has,
big volume. I don't know if
that
it's
is
real or not.
different than
Not fake.
most other G7
Lakers
countries
6, baby.
is
Jesus
just the
is
number
king,
of
isn't
financial
it?
institutions. We don't have 5 big banks, 3 big banks. And in the U.S., the community and small banks, which are...
I don't think that wick was real. He just said something on private credit.
provide 70% of agricultural lending, 40% of small business lending.
Yeah, he's talking about private
40%
credit.
of real estate lending. And in the U.S., we've had this incredible boom on Wall Street. I think Wall Street can continue doing well. But I think it's Main Street's turn to share in the prosperity. Wow. And I think it was the pullback by the small banks, the post the GFC, that's kind of created this stagnation on Main Street. And we're determined to fix that.
Mr. Secretary, I always say Treasury is the sober voice of reason. What we've heard today from you is a sober voice of reason. We wish you all the best. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Treasury Secretary.
Thank you.
That's it. They're ending it with that. You guys, I don't know if you guys realize that. BESSENT is being championed as the voice of reason. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. You know, a lot of people don't like Lutnick. They don't like Trump, obviously. But a lot of Wall Street and finance, Republican, Democrat, they view BESSENT as the logical one. I hope you guys realize that. So that's why they even ended. Yeah, they don't look at Navarro and they're like, yeah, BESSENT has everybody's respect. So I think that's why they ended it, even with that comment. But generally, bro, I think the China stuff got us there. I would ask yourself, what would the market have looked like without that China rumor? You know, BESSENT, I don't think he gave you what we thought. I think some people thought he was going to reassure us and calm us down. He did not do that. But he did, like I said, I think talking Germany, that's when we had the upside. I thought that was very fascinating, to be honest with you, because him and Lagarde, I'm hearing things. Again, you've heard it with me, and I'm like, what the hell? That one's like a little crazy because that sounded good. Everything else sounded like a criticism, though. And it was not really, even though he was talking financial state, I don't think this was calming, and we started today by being calmed down, walking back. And yeah, Twitch, El Coyote has them here. Boeing says much of the company's supply chain is based in the U.S., says many of the company imports from Canada and Mexico are exempt. And many that's it. Customers in China may have indicated they will not take deliveries of jets. So yeah, Boeing pretty much saying they're exempt from tariffs. That's why it's running up $5. They're saying, yeah, we get stuff from Mexico and Canada. We're exempt under USMCA. They're saying bad news with the China. And then again, they're probably going to say India is going to take it. That's what they mentioned in the morning. So yeah, but Boeing earnings call just started not too long ago. Pay the plug. Oh, are you guys beefing? Is that what you did? Did you just copy his message? But now you're bringing in sports beef? Do you know sports beef is the gateway drug to political ideology beef? You know that? First, it starts off Lakers versus Celtics, Lakers versus Warriors. Next thing you know, you're fighting your neighbor over tariffs. You know that? That's a gateway drug. It's a gateway drug. So I am a Lakers fan, but I could respect the Warriors, okay? That's it. LeBron James is old, but he is actually one of the greatest. Even though he's probably a liberal, he's still one of the greatest. So, yeah, okay? But be safe out there, okay? No gateway political ideologies. Mm-hmm. Did you see Luka? Bro, what did Nico say? Bro, the guy who got rid of Luka gets on a press conference and he says, we didn't realize how important Luka was to the fan base. And then you go on Instagram, Merriam-Webster Dictionary commented back and said, yeah, we didn't realize how important the letter E was to the English language. And I was, oh my gosh, bro. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Crazy, bro. Everyone worships LeBron. You hate it? Well, I'm not like the biggest fan of LeBron, but like, just like everything, I don't care what I like or dislike about the guy. He is objectively one of the greatest. What a shame for me. If I let my views not recognize that level of talent, that would be a shame. Because I'm telling you, LeBron's insane, bro. LeBron, for his age, bro, God bless him. He's up there. I think I like Kobe and Michael Jordan. That's another topic, but yeah, LeBron is unreal, bro. And I don't think you could ever take that away. And I think everybody's very unfair with the dude. But yeah, he's insane. Yeah, you got to respect the game, bro. You got to. Happy to be here. Well, welcome, Only Way. I hope you have a good day. Again, I hope you guys take some profits if you had other. I sold early again on things, but we had some good ones that popped back up. But be wise. Like I said earlier, it's kind of a payout day. If you had some, there were some good opportunities and then long-term holding up. But generally, until we break into a new range, I hope you guys hear me. I don't feel safe. And I would not fall for certainty again. I think Wall Street is on some ho shit right now. Excuse my language, but they got really bearish. They guided down earnings, and all of a sudden they're upgrading them, and you're seeing just how quickly we're going from looking over the edge to now some of the best rallies in a year. Or again, these last 2 days is the best move since the election. So you got to ask yourself why, and how it got here. But like I'm saying, until we break into a new level, until we get a clear pivot that is undebatable, I would not let your guard down. Yeah, it could be a bear market rally, 100%. Like we said, we were talking about he has risen, temporary rally. This all fits that, but I just don't let your guard down. It is relief. That's the theme. I think, and this is the thing if I were you, I'd pay attention to, is how quickly you know what I'm saying? This is the only place in the world is the stock market where you think you are going to die, and then the next day you're like, I'm the king of the fucking world. I don't know. No other place does this happen. Not even in Call of Duty, not in video games, nowhere else. Only in the stock market do you have this. No, for real. And I want you guys to observe this because in the last 48 hours, we were just looking over the edge. Safe haven dump, dollar, the yield, all of this, bro. And then all of a sudden we're fine. What do you mean relief and emotions? My emotions were just tweaked out 48 hours ago. How you mean my emotions? Well, now they not tweaked? What? So why? That just goes to show we're going to be choppy. That's what I'm saying with all of this. If you observe that and notice how bad it was just a couple days ago, and now you're like, wow, it's really good all of a sudden, the conclusion is that is real volatility, and I just think we're going to get choppiness. That is the pure, again, up, down. I'm terrified. I feel fine. Until we really get an answer, don't be fooled by these things. Nah, sell in May and go away, that's just a lie. For now, it's like 2 out of 10. There's only, in the last decade or even 2 decades, I think 20% of the time, it is actually sold in May and went away. Other than that, they just buy that shit. But maybe this year could be different because people don't feel good. You know, the last couple years were selling May, went bullish. Things weren't the best, but people, there was just money fucking sloshing around everywhere. It's been 1 year since I found you. Well, I hope you got a long term, baby. Now you got 9 more years to go. Thanks for the consistency and value. Dude, I'm glad. I'm glad you appreciate it, you know? It's because you're relatively new. You know what I'm saying? And the guys who got all the good shit, they ruined it for you. But I'm glad to hear that you're still getting a lot of good out of it, even being relatively new. You hear that, Chad, who's known me for 7 years and done nothing with it? Yeah, you made it harder for that guy. Good. But look, he's still advancing. He'll lap you. Give him a little bit. TLT's still up by 1.9. That's the crazy part. You added NVO and pizza to your long term? Nice. I would love to help a vet anytime, bro, for real. And let me just tell you this, as a veteran, I'm not a veteran, but you're a veteran, and I care about your portfolio. You cared about my freedom. It's the least I could do, okay? But here's the deal. When it comes, NVO is a good name. NVO is a good name. It is European, so it's a little different, and it is at a premium, although it has came down. So just be careful with those two names, because if you are starting long-term, I don't want you to get only deep value plays. Are you hearing me? So pizza I like it a lot, but that one's a deep value. That's not going to be an anchor portfolio. That is not going to be your anchor in your portfolio. You get what I'm saying? It's going to add to the stats. You know? No, I do not use NVO. But when it comes to medicine, if it is widely used, that's good enough. Let me put it this way. If I know 10 people who use it, I think that can account for me not using it. So I bought Pizza Hut yesterday, or I bought Papa John's, and I ate it. I did not go inject myself with Ozempic when I bought it, okay? But I do know at least 100 people on Ozempic. I know 100 people on Ozempic. I could actually say that. Brand name Ozempic, I know over 100 people. But like I'm saying, Ozempic came down a lot, but it still has a lot of premium. Okay? It's a good name, but that may be lower, it'll be your anchor. But pizza is not going to be, don't go put all of your cash into pizza. Okay, veteran, my brother who's a veteran, don't do that. So build with some of these, but remember, we want to get high quality. So just pay attention And if you're buying some of the value plays, just make sure you don't buy too many of them and you don't end up without, because again, we have Netflix, we have Meta, we have JP Morgan. All of those are in the portfolio. So if you're just starting out, some of these good value plays will be great, but we do have to keep our eye out for an anchor in quality. I do dollar cost average. Yeah, that's exactly what I did with NVO. India says they will increase imports from USA rather than China. We'll see if we hear more of that. That could be your India. Because, again, we haven't heard about India yet. I made you get your long-term and buy my second and third property. I love it, bro. There you go. You got a long-term properties, a child. Are you kidding me? I love it, man. That's what I was saying the other day. I've watched some of y'all do amazing things. I have not drank Dutch Bros yet. No, but are you ready? I have a fun fact for you. Would you guys like a fun fact related to Dutch Bros and the company that we just bought? So, this morning at like 5 a.m., I thought I would call pizza. I called Papa John's. I did. I think I have the recording somewhere because I recorded it in the morning. Please hold. Yeah. Do you hear that? I did. This is at 5 in the morning. It's way easier to call them when I'm not live, too. Yeah, fuck y'all. You were sleeping. I don't want to hear it. Oh, yeah, I left a message. Hey, my name is Josh Answers from... See? There you go. I did. I left him a message and everything. Yeah. Y'all don't feel me. Y'all don't feel me. But I have a fun fact for you. Would you like a fun fact? I got a good one. You are up working good. Listen, and if you were awake and you were grinding, don't ever let a hoe who can't wake up tell you anything. Okay? You know that? Because I love all of you who work. And I'm so proud of you. And it's such a great thing. You know that? And y'all make money and you grind. You work hard. That's what we mean by being locked in. You know what I'm saying? You may miss a play here and there, bro. But are you waking up? Are you working? Are you taking care of your responsibilities? And you know what I'm saying, bro? So good shit. And that's what I'm saying. And if anybody want to run their mouth to you and they got problem, they can't even wake up, bro, God bless you. You know what I'm saying? You, my friend, we need more of you, less of them. Amen. So here it is. Are you ready for your fun fact? Are you ready? Pizza, Papa John's. The CEO, I was stunned to find out that he is on the board of directors of Dutch Bros. Believe it or not. Did you guys know that? Because we were talking about it last night. We were talking Dutch Bros, Kava, all of it. Yeah, I didn't know that. The current CEO is on the board of directors for Dutch Bros. He's actually on a bunch of these names, bro. So Todd A. Penegor, CEO, Papa John's, independent director at Dutch Bros, independent director at Ball Corp. They make all the cans for everybody, if you didn't know that. And he's on the board of directors at Papa John's, Dutch Bros, Ball, Dublin Chamber of Commerce, Eli Broad College, and Dave Thomas Foundation. He was previously employed as the CEO and director of Wendy's, CFO of Kellogg's, and then CFO and president of Kellogg's Snacks, and then another Kellogg's mergers and acquisitions, and then he also worked at Ford for mergers. Dave Thomas is Wendy. He was the past Wendy's guy. Ta-da! But yeah, so I thought that was cool. But you guys, because again, I told you guys, what was I telling you? What was I telling you? Y'all don't feel me. It makes sense. It makes sense with everything I've told you about the restaurant business. Because I was just telling you guys, I said, what really matters? Can you grow your restaurants? And I was telling you, I was like, that's why Papa John's, surprisingly, they have a lot of locations. I like that. And then what did I tell you? Out of Kava, Sweet Greens, and Dutch Bros, which one did I tell you that I like? Out of all of them. Out of all of the new hype restaurants that are, not having profit, trading at a huge multiple, there was only one of them I really liked. And I told you it for one financial reason. I think Sweet Greens is the best tasting. I've never been to Dutch Bros, but I said Dutch Bros is compelling. Look at it. Why? Because Dutch Bros was growing locations. So it kind of makes sense. I think Dutch Bros, I think they have somebody on their board saying the same thing, and this guy has already had 20, 30 years in the restaurant game doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I like that, but I do like Bros a little bit more now, and I think that was good for pizza, but we'll see. But, yeah, that was a little fun fact. But, yeah, because out of all of them, Dutch Bros is the only one opening up mad locations, and I was like, I like that. That's something that's going to make you be a behemoth. That's how you last for 10 years. That's how you grow. That's how you get big, But that's what I was saying. Like, Kava only has 300 restaurants total. Dutch Bros wants to open up. Pizza wants to open up. Even Sweet Greens, but Sweet Greens actually has a lot too. All right, you're coming back down again, and then Boeing, you still got more comments there. You pay attention to the debt bros? No, I do not, because I don't like them like that. That's why I've never bought them. Because pizza has a lot of debt, but pizza cash flows. That's it. No matter what, that's what I really like about it. I don't think people realize, is pizza going to grow? No. But that thing is going to, in a weird way, we live in a world right now where, people are worried about debt backed by the United States. That's wild. Legit, bro, I legit think pizza-backed debt is fine. I know, I sound like an idiot, but I'm being dead serious, bro. Actually, do you not get it? Papa John's is just 6% yield on pizza. At 50 to 70% payout ratio, it's not going to grow, but I think it'll be stable. So if you're telling me government debt is volatile, I think the pizza is pretty stable, to be honest. I know it sounds wild, but that's why I didn't go big, but I put a small portion of our money there. In worst case, we get 6%. And then spy dumping, Trump begins comments at White House. What? Hold up. Trump is talking right now. Flip. China plans EV. That's not it. It's Trump talking right now. I don't know where. Eyes peeled. EU and China ripping the U.S. off. First comment. Yeah, I don't have a live feed. I'm only going to get comments. He says, we're going to make a lot of money for our people. So, again, a lot of things are moving down now. Friends cashed out calls? No. That's it. So listen, I don't want to ban you because I don't think that's, but can we work on being fair, you guys? You know what I'm saying? Just like I was telling you, I got to respect LeBron, dude. I don't like his politics. I think LeBron is weird in many ways. Trump says we will have a fair trade deal with China. That's the next one. But you guys got to be fair because someone even said it earlier. They were trying to blame BESSENT. But no exaggeration, before that Wall Street Journal headline, your out of the money plays were 1,000% lower. You understand? So if you want to get at anybody for weird activity, I would blame Wall Street Journal. I don't know why you would blame BESSENT or Trump, because that is what literally caused. I made money off of it, damn it. I made money just off getting that headline earlier. Imagine if I wrote it. And then after that headline, they went from 7 cents to 30, then 30 to $1.50. And then now they're all coming back down. So I just don't think that's really fair to blame them rather than realizing that legitimately your media-induced rumor has been the main driver. I made a lot of money off it this morning. I made $1,000 in a second. Again, I got off of nothing. You know what I'm saying? So just be fair with it. I'm not going to ban you, but I do hope you guys see where I'm getting at, because I hope you're not being confused, and then I hope you don't confuse others. But I'm okay with blaming the right people at the right time, you know? But when it's all said and done, I mean, I don't think, you know, attributing it, even if it's a joke, because people have gotten to this idea that we joke about it, but a lot of people end up believing it deep down, and just sadly, I'm like, it's false. It's just not accurate. You know, I think you should be suspicious of Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to read you the Trump headlines, middle of rant. Don't worry. So we're going to have a fair deal with China. That was the last one. If they come out, I'll read them. Or if you get them first, you post them too. But yeah, don't worry. I'm ranting, but I'm paying attention. But like I'm saying, though, you got to start being a little bit more fair here, you guys, with all of it, because I don't want it to be this weird back and forth. And then, again, you'll miss out how to make money. You know what I'm saying? Because the money was that rumor. We all made money off of it. You see what I'm saying? You didn't make money off the other stuff. And, you know, being aware of the premiums, what's causing it, who's making it move, that'll take you a further way than literally blaming everything on Trump or his team at just being bad. But like I was saying, you should doubt them. I don't have a problem with doubting Trump. I don't have a problem with suspicion. You know what I'm saying? And if you have a suspicion that Wall Street and these people are front running, that's a good suspicion. You should have that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem with that. But I do hope that suspicion and, like, you know, really picking apart things, it's effective if we are fair with it. But if we're only picking things apart and we're not being fair with it, that's not justice. That doesn't lead to anything. That's just corrupt. So I hope y'all feel me on that. Amen. Can I get an amen? No. Can I get an atheist for, I don't want to not push the religion on you? I don't know. But I hope y'all feel me. Mm-hmm. Do you think it was market manipulation on the tariff day? I do not. So do I think that, right? But did some market manipulation occur? Yes. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's like, believe me, ask anybody who's been here long enough. You know what I'm saying? But if you've seen what we've seen here on Wall Street, you're going to quickly realize it's all market manipulation. You know, and that's why you get a fucking long term. Because the market manipulation will benefit you in the long run. But so that's why I'm saying, do I think they caused a certain thing? I don't think I could say that. But I'm sure some other shit was going on both sides. I don't, like, again, people are greedy bastards, and Wall Street has no shame nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't think, I'm not giving it like, I don't put an unfair blame on, Donald and his friends, or everybody's friends are doing this shit. And like I'm saying, that was Wall Street Journal today. And if you remember the CNN and WAPO fake rumors at the beginning of the year, that cost people a lot of money. And people were enriching themselves and getting clapped. So always doubt Wall Street. And you should always be on the lookout. That's why short-term plays, you will be susceptible to manipulation. The only way you beat the manipulation is in the long run. That's it. You can't manipulate me if I don't sell. You can't manipulate my 10-year plan. They're too impatient for that. It's who he, right? That's he. And that is a good question. Like, you should be asking who bought that bond auction a couple weeks ago. I agree completely. Remember that one when we were all freaked out, the bonds are there, and we were like, oh my God, if this bond auction fails, who bought that day? Like, you know, there's so many things. But point is, I would start getting used to it and protect your. Now do you guys see what I'm saying? So after this little oh my gosh, Tesla! Bro, I would have made a bad. Those plays are up almost 150 now. So yeah, we had a good one. But I thought it was bigger, but it did break out there. But do you guys understand what I've been saying as of late? When I tell y'all, even I've criticized some of you in your criticisms, because I said, bro, I don't want you guys to even look dumb trying to talk shit. Some people are not even off of real, like, it's kind of scary. They think they're like, oh yeah, but I'm like, no, you guys are leaving a lot of info out, but I don't know. I've said this statement a lot. I've been telling you to protect yourself. My goal is to get you guys safe. I don't care. Even if you don't fucking like me, you may learn to respect me one day when you realize that I am trying to keep you safe. And this is why I keep saying be safe, protect yourself. Think about this whole manipulation, volatility conversation. You have to be head on a swivel for you, bro. They'll rob you. They don't give a shit. Anybody, both sides. I don't want you to fall for some of these traps and don't, because you'll even be like, oh yeah, all the people who agreed, yeah, Tesla, short Tesla, they all got fucked because Wall Street scammed them on earnings. Ta-da. You see what I'm saying? So just protect yourself. Don't let the media, and I'm not trying to say this I'm not telling you, don't let the media go vote for Donald Trump. No, I'm saying don't let the media confuse you or influence your financial decisions and letting you have bad decision making. You know, that's where because they're all manipulating it. Everybody has an interest and there's lots of money to be made. Again, I'm making thousands of dollars in seconds just by knowing how to react to it and having one of the earliest news sources. So these guys are making money, bro. They are going after something. So you have to protect yourself. That's why when I'm saying, notice what BESSENT said. Notice what Lagarde said. You think I'm trying to fucking promote Trump? No. I'm trying to get you to take in the info so we could get to reality and be able to make the right move. We need to protect ourselves, our portfolio, and our families. So that's it. So I hope y'all feel me, baby. But amen. And say 10%. I mean, you're not really blessed to have me to a degree, because you know why? Because when that shit gets crazy, I'm dipping, just like you saw me do. I'm going to take my money. I'm going to go. If you get left behind, you're getting left behind. That's how they all operate, bro. So, you know, don't take it for granted. And at the end of the day, you have to prepare today. You have to value your safety. You see what I'm saying? I don't care, Republican, Democrat, I don't give a shit. You have to value and prioritize your safety financially. Saying is, I don't care what they're saying or not, what I like, what I don't like. How am I going to make sure that I win? No matter what, how can I make sure my family is good? Again, that's why savings, a plan, not rushing into things, watching the gambling, being careful of that, being able to really assess the situation and know where we're going to. That's why it's hard. That's where Donald Trump does not make this easy. He has made this worse because he doesn't make it easy to plan. You see what I'm saying? So I understand that. And that's why we got to take what we have and find a way to use that. But you have to prioritize this. Otherwise, I mean, that's going to be on you to figure out the volume. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. So you shouldn't nuke the Lakers? So I gave you a serious conversation, and that's what you say? So it's good. I'm not mad. I actually feel better. You know why? Because if you're willing to gamble and joke around, if I ban you, I'm pretty sure you got another $5. So, yeah, you got to make a new one now, man. I know. It's okay, though. Don't worry about it. And then remember, you guys, because some people got banned yesterday. We have a high standard. I don't take it personally. Neither should you, but we will unban everybody at the end of June. So at the end of the quarter, end of 3 months, I will unban everybody. So till then, all you could do is make a new account or listen. Maybe listen a little more And if you did make a new account, just don't snitch on yourself. I saw that. Homeboy called out the Disney one, but I don't like the reaction. And then Meta expanding ads and threads to all eligible advertisers. The quarterly rebirth. Chloride. I don't know what that name even means. What up, baby? Another month for the long term. Woo! The impact of student loans. I don't know. Someone asked me this yesterday with SoFi, and I actually respected the question because it wasn't the same. Do I buy SoFi? I don't know. I know they made a case and they said they got to start paying the loans that were in default or something, or that students have to, but other than that, I don't really know. I mean, there is an economic effect on the macro where, again, it reduces discretionary spending and it kind of tightens financial conditions if people have to pay that. And that could slow down GDP to a degree. But other than that, I don't know. I think that situation is very confusing. I think Joe Biden made it very confusing with all the we're forgiving, we're not forgiving, we're forgiving, and then Trump, and then all of it. It's a confusing topic. Tesla, dude, they're up 150. It was a beautiful one, but I'm mad. I sold early, as always. Well, I'm not really mad. I actually take pride. Netflix says Disney should be well. No. I think it's been many quarters that Netflix crushed Disney, bro. That's that. You get what I'm saying? It's not. I don't think it's a sympathy. I think Netflix crushed them. That's it. I mean, it went from at one point when we bought it, everybody was telling me that Disney was gonna clap them, but at this point, I don't even think it's a sympathy. I think Disney is so far behind in a different way. When it comes to streaming, I like other assets from Disney, but Netflix is the king of the stream. You're enjoying. Well, that's good, man. But try to post your play next time before the flex. You know what I'm saying? So I tried to remind somebody about that earlier. So do your thing, but y'all got to figure that one out. And then you're kind of coming down here. Bonds haven't moved in an hour. What time is it? 15 minutes till Euro close. Arab. Habibi. Pizza's still up. NVO. Where's Lily? Dude, I can't even. I went onto Disney Plus a while ago, but I don't remember the last time I was on that thing. Should you move to North Carolina or stay in Washington? I mean, does your money-making ability change? So, living in Washington or North Carolina, does that change your opportunities to get paid? If not, then it's really up to you. Yeah, a lot of people are moving to North Carolina. Still very popular. They actually haven't slowed down as much. Yo, Airbnb. Oh, whoa. Airbnb. Big red on Airbnb, bro. Hold on. Oh, these are expensive. Bro, I keep whiffing today. My fingers are cold. Because I don't know why it keeps doing that. I keep mispressing the buttons. I got a cheap one. I don't know what it is. That's a big drop out of nowhere. Could be nothing. They're cheap as fuck. And these small ones, on the ones we don't know, But it's far at the money, so it's a trash ass play. That's just a big reaction. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what it is. I'm explaining it on the stream alert. I'm just saying I don't know what it is. You're grabbing a cheapie. B&B earnings isn't a little. Oh, U.S. Senator Dick Durbin to retire? Is that it? I don't know because he might have a certain policy. And Coca-Cola, they slashed that put we had, but now I think it's coming back. Yeah, the puts are coming back on Coca-Cola. Watch that. Remember, I was like, dude, the little red 40 thing. Silver was up earlier. Is it actually still ripping? So watch Airbnb. That could be nothing. Yeah, silver's still up a lot. Again, meanwhile, while gold is down. Spotify's kind of like Netflix, but I think Netflix is such a special company. I just think they changed the world with streaming, and they've gone through the competition, and they took names, bro. They took everybody down. That's it. They went from being the king to people tested the throne, and they just walked away with more territory. I'm telling you, I think it's a very special company. So that's why I think Spotify has very good similarities, but it's different. I don't think because they have a brand like, dude, Netflix has gone through a lot. Try to say Coca-Cola without letting your lips. Coca-Cola. 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 Are you making... Did you just... I feel like I sound like a hyped up Trump. Coca-Cola. I could do it. It's not bad. Okay, coming down. It sucks because, like I'm saying, you're just back. Remember, this is where you were before the Wall Street Journal headline. That China one. BSLK. Again, you're just wicking back into open now. Pull the Reuters. Little dump in the euro. Okay, I think those Airbnbs are going to dud. And the video, we sold out of them pretty good, though, man. I'm glad. Those plays are still holding, but you should have that in the money. VIX is on the high. Interesting. VIX is still red. NASDAQ still up 358. SPY up 25. Dow up 21. Russell 29. Mr. Anderson has joined the chat. Welcome, baby. And then Dow Jones, 23 green, 7 in the red. NASDAQ 100, 84 green, 16 in the red. And then SPY, 399 green, 100 red. That's a lot. That got a lot worse. The stream alerts are every day. But I'll tell you guys this. I need to update the video for stream alerts. But stream alerts is not for new people. I will tell you that right off the bat. And again, I am not trying to sell you guys anything. If you pay attention and listen, it'll be there. Unfortunately, did I remove the plays? I did. I don't want people to gamble like that. I think you should know what you're doing if you are going to engage in that behavior. So stream alerts is not for new people. So please be careful. And I'm telling you, I got an email the other day, bro. And somebody said it. And they're like, bro, I'm finally putting down the gambling. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And they're like, they said they found me 5 years ago. They went through every streaming service, and now they finally realized why they need the long term. And they're like, I want to buy stream alerts. And even then, bro, I don't want you to buy stream alerts. You don't have to, bro. For real, you'll be better off without it. Just long-term, no gambling, okay? But here is the deal. Are you ready? It's very simple. Don't buy anything in the stock market world. See what I'm saying? So if you're going to go and pay some jackass for some weird trading thing, yeah, you might as well buy Stream Alerts. But other than that, don't pay anybody. You don't need to buy anything. Senator Dick Durbin, no, we're dumping again. Bro, what the fuck? Yo, big flip. Check currencies. I'm going to look at currencies before plays. The premium's already popped. It's not oil. This has to be a rumor. BESSENT, no unilateral from offer for Trump to cut tariffs. So yeah, BESSENT, both U.S. and China are waiting to speak. Both sides secure it on tariffs is unsustainable. Okay, so both sides think it's unsustainable, but there has been no unilateral offer from Trump to cut. AKA, we heard this earlier, you guys, but it's pretty much highlighting that Trump isn't saying, I'm going to cut first. He's not saying we cut and we're being easy on you. No, you have to cut and then we'll cut. But yeah, both sides believe it's unsustainable. This is more updates on what we just got. He does not have time for frame to start of China talks will have to take place at lower levels. Tariff negotiation will not be an extended process at all. Needs to be a de-escalated for trade talks to proceed. U.S.-China tariffs will likely have to come down for trade negotiations to talk rates. And then India, we are very close at tariff deal, expecting current tax policy to be extended and a great part of that to be permanent. That's the good part. So bad China stuff that you heard around here, and now good India, and then good tax deal. And then U.S.-Japan trade talks do not have specific currency targets. Expects Japan to honor G7 agreement on Forex. U.S. trade with Japan does not have specific currency target. So that was just good and bad. I think the China stuff sounds bad, but we heard it. But then the India and then the tax stuff, that sounds good. But everything else, I honestly, today would have been a lot different without the Wall Street Journal article. You know what I'm saying? Because that was both good and bad, but we heard some of this stuff earlier, and now you're right back to that level. So there's both good and bad. That again, is it uncertain? It is. And like I told you guys yesterday, and today, if everything could be debated, it's going to lead to chop. You see what I'm saying? The whole China, if it's a debatable pullback, chop. It wasn't a clear cut, chop. What is he saying with this? Chop. If it's not clear cut, India, Japan, we don't know yet. There's nothing that is, it's all could be debated. It's all going to lead there. So yeah. You're just at the Wall Street Journal level, but that comment was both good and bad. So there's a lot of details. Okay, you're going lower. All right, you're going lower now. But yeah, watch out for that, unfortunately. I just think it sucks because the pricing. That's it. You're just right now below. You just had to spend an hour of these comments to work out that other rumor. So I'm glad I didn't hold all of them, but I'm going to lose on the other 5 remaining ones. And then Tesla's still killing it there. Yeah, dude, those Coca-Cola puts just went green, but then they stopped. But yeah, everything's starting to go down again. I think it was a mixed bag, man. That's what sucks about this. It could revert, but we have a lot of gains right now. So if it looks ugly, you could still technically drop like a 2% and we'll still be here, sadly. So unfortunately, you have a day of rumors, you're getting details, and now we're going down. There could be a lot. Maybe it was Airbnb that snitched. You're right. Because that had that wick down and we did start going. Yeah, you're going to have to let this shit work its way out, bro. Because it looks bad now, but you're still up 3%. You see what I'm saying? There's too much range now. And then you had a fat-ass rumor in the morning. Yeah, maybe give it 3 more minutes. This is on Euro close. So that's the crazy part, actually. You're about 2 more minutes. Europe closes. Into the live.
My understanding that tariffs, though, could stay paused at least.
Yeah, they're talking about it now.
In the meantime.
Whoa.
And then finally, he was also asked a couple of times about Fed Chair Powell as well. He didn't want to directly comment here. He wasn't commenting, for example, on his own role in these negotiations or these discussions about whether to fire the Fed chair. He did say he tried to brush
Bitcoin's
off,
still green, but that did flush too.
That this was mostly a dragon the press created so that they could slay it. He said termination, as President Trump seemed to call for last week, could always simply mean the end of a term rather than his firing. He said the president for years has expressed his displeasure with the Federal Reserve Chair going back to the first term, so he was not at all concerned with these recent comments. Guys.
Okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Goes back to
follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity. Real Call News on Twitter.
Last week,
pretty much new updates.
After the term
China's stuff wasn't as good. That's it.
Megan, obviously, markets coming off of the session.
Let me make it simple for you guys. The whole Trump caved on China from last night till today, that comment like walked it back a little bit. That's it. That's all. Then we're still got India, and then you're still gapped up. Because remember, a big portion of this gap up was because Powell not getting fired. Remember that. So, yeah, that's how you could kind of sum up what just happened in words. But let me go pee, and I will be right back. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter.
Last night, the company's planning to lay off about 20% of its staff.
I think it's going to go to commercial.
In an effort to streamline efficiency. Don't go away.
Did the Airbnb play work? A little bit. You're barely up, but yeah, just don't pay more than what I put on that stream alert, though. It's too expensive. And yeah, all right, hold on, I gotta wait. But like I was telling you, if you guys are new and you think Stream Alerts is gonna be some like safe haven, no, it's not. Again, I think it's valuable. I think it's made people money. I love it. We've learned a lot in 5 years of Stream Alerts, and we've got to really make it a lot better. But at the end of the day, you don't have to buy it, bro. And like I'm telling you, if you're gonna go and spend money on dumb shit in Wall Street, you're gonna be better off buying Stream Alerts. That's what I truly believe. But I think you should save your money at every corner. So, if you don't buy Stream Alerts, you shouldn't be buying anything else. And again, you should be able to do well and have your balance and save up and get that long term. And if you're listening and watching the watch list, I'm going to put you on game, bro. Believe me. Again, even Boeing and a lot of these, even Tesla moves and some of the old tutorials, we have stuff out there that will teach you all of this for free. So that's how I feel, baby. But now I got a commercial. Let me go to the bathroom.
But we look underneath the hood, some of the individual stocks that are on the move. I want to shine a light on European trading. We just finished. SAP surged 8.8%. We had the best innings in 6 years. They post really strong profitability and a great backlog for their cloud orders. What does that mean for the company that is run by Bill McDermott, which is ServiceNow? Of course, he used to run SAP over in Germany. Now he runs ServiceNow up 6.7%. Their earnings after the bell. Will they post some resiliency? Remember, they're exposed some of the Doge cuts across government. So too is IBM, where up just 2% ahead of their earnings after the bell as well. Revenues likely to flatline for that particular business, Ed.
Let's get back to Tesla. The stock has also pulled back literally in the last couple of minutes on those headlines from Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, but still up 7%. Not up on fundamentals or the core of the earnings report, but literally the commentary from Elon Musk that he will pare back time at Doge and add more time, allocate more time to Tesla. Bloomberg's Craig Tudell, who leads our global coverage of the auto industry, is with us. You and I have been pouring through the commentary on the call and the earnings deck, and there are contradictions in there about the core business. Demand hit from the backlash to Doge, or is it the brand, or is it something else? Hello.
I do think the first quarter, we absolutely have to acknowledge that the Model Y changeover was disruptive, right? And it's going to take us some time to sort of parse, just how much demand there is for that model. It is, after all, Tesla's most popular far and away, and it's one of the best-selling vehicles in the world. The question is going to be, how much can Tesla rely on that one vehicle, and can it reliably continue to be, sort of a one-trick trick pony where the Model 3 has been a letdown despite that vehicle getting a makeover recently.
Yeah.
And the rest of the lineup is kind of sucking wind. The Cybertruck is not living up to Musk's expectations in the least.
Yeah, significant number in sales down for the Cybertruck. But there is going to be a cheaper Model Y in the first half of this year. That's what helps send the shares higher. So too is the robotaxi outlook for what's happening in Austin in June. There was real recommitment in certain areas of the business.
Yeah, I do think that there was concern after some reporting by Reuters a few days ago that maybe there was a setback in the timing for more affordable vehicles that they've been, saying will be on the way for the first half. I think there was, not necessarily a full-throated denial of that. There was a comment during the call about, a ramp not going as smoothly as hoped. And I do think that,
yeah, bro, these are all fake candles.
Driverless
I know,
rides
dude.
that they're going to start in Austin.
It does it when the market's like hella volatile.
That, being
I just think this is a big day, and I'm sure a lot of people are paying attention.
A handful of vehicles.
Even Chad Vicks is elevated.
Some expectation setting there.
So I think you're just getting that, but those are fake.
Musk tends to.
You just got to refresh it.
Moon. It's maybe a little surprising to see the shares jump so dramatically. When
they are trying to suck you dry. I do think so. The market maker's trying to rob you. That's what I'm telling you guys. Be safe. The one thing we talked about, I told you when I took vacation, I realized, after shutting my mouth for 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? I got to shut my mouth for 2 weeks because I talk a lot. And I got to watch. I got to watch the market and I got to watch the news. And I noticed how important the reaction function is. And you'll get the same story over and over again. Again, the Wall Street Journal thing about Powell was on Thursday. You gapped down on Monday in relation to it randomly. A lot of it is reiterating things, and then if you react, you react. So that's what I'm saying. Watch your reaction function. When we're in the chop, that's how we get scammed. That's how they're going to drain you. We need to find the easy break, like we talked about on the watch list last night. We need to find the clear stuff that can't be debated. That's what's going to give us the freedom we're looking for, and that's where you could run the market maker up. Because, again, they'll play this game. You'll be able to catch them, but that kind of is the problem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, those Airbnbs did go. I'm going to make them free. I mean, it's only like $10 gain. But they were only 3 cents, so I'll get 3 of them for free. Why not? Where is it? There wasn't any Airbnb news. We just saw it dump before everything. So I took a cheap one. And then that's it. I think Trump is doing too much. I mean, I think objectively he has done things that have never been seen before in history. And I do, and again, I no problem talking about it because I told you right when it was a bomb. I think the tariff stuff is wild. It was big and it could change a lot. But I think everybody is doing too much. That's it. Unfortunately, it doesn't help when I think, like I said, we don't know. Everyone is quickly determining things. Maybe Trump will be terrible. Maybe he'll be a lot better than we think. Maybe the Democrats were right. Maybe they were wrong. All I know, it's just so early to tell right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I do think by end of the year, it'll be so different. And then by June, July, we're going to have a lot more clarity. But in this moment of debating or while it's still too soon, I wouldn't worry about if it's too much or not. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people are getting pressed right now and we're going to talk about this on Philo, but I think it relates to the market a lot. Everybody needs an answer. Well, you don't need one, but everybody is demanding one. And that is something that I think you got to just start learning. You're not going to get an answer to everything right away. And I think we just got to be a little bit patient while everyone's going crazy. While they go fast, you go slow and vice versa. And that's kind of how I'm viewing it. So I don't know. I think everybody has done a lot already. And there's a lot going on, and we've went through a lot. Go look at the market, what you've absorbed already. It's again, historical. We've never gone through some of this stuff. And that's where it's like, all right, we got to take this all in. But where this ends and like to judge it and determine it now, I think that would be so foolish, no? I don't know if you feel me on that. Like, it would, I mean, it's sports 101, bro. It could be a crazy game, first quarter, the first half, but you never know when it's all said and done. And I just, with the players or the cards on the table, whatever analogy you want, I am like, yeah, that is kind of like, yeah, this is still very early, man. CNBC clarification, 2 to 3 years for trying to trade to rebalance. Yeah, it's the same vibe as yesterday. Remember, BESSENT, I told you guys this earlier before we dumped. I said it reminded me of when we had the BESSENT stuff and then they pour cold water on it and say it's going to take a long time. So very interesting. No, I don't think it's about price discovery. No. I think it's about, like, policy discovery. That's the problem. And, like, what policies are going to stick, what won't, what's going to be the actual effect. Again, people are still debating and even misinforming on the effects, and then we don't know. I actually have it. So we'll go over it on the watch list because it's kind of bogged down info. But there is. I think this is from Goldman. Yes. So I have a chart for you. This is 5 different scenarios. This is, again, this is what I'm telling you, man. If you just listen to CNBC and Bloomberg and, like, the media, and dude, it's so simplified and dumbed down. That's what I'm saying. And then it ends you with a fear. That's it. They're like, it's bad. You're going to die. You should worry. Sell America. That's what it boils down to. Right? But underneath the surface, people are throwing. Dude, there's so much going on right now. And it's not just like nobody's looking at this as it was one outcome, one image. It's not that. That's not the reality. And even if people talk about it like it is, it's not. They're forecasting 5, 10 different ways this could go. Heavy reaction, small, confidence, size, impact, who does what. Again, there's follow-ups. And again, different estimates. I have 4 scenarios with 4 different CPI scenario estimates. Again, 4 different scenarios, 4 GDP outcomes. So all I'm saying is that this is what I try to bring and simplify for you guys. But at the end of the day, it's not. That's why I'm like, dude, we can't make an answer right now. Anybody demanding an answer, it's one of the most foolish things I've ever seen right now. And I that's why I shade the media, because they talk with this confidence and they simplify it and dumb it down, but then they leave out this info and they say, yeah, you could judge it right now. This is how you should think like this. This is when in reality, the people on Wall Street, they have no idea what's going on. And everybody is coming up with many, many theories because now Pandora's box has been opened and this could go and God knows which way. And right now, we don't know which way. And only a fool would tell you he does know. And that's why let's protect ourselves and be safe. We'll figure it out, but I'd rather be safe than wrong, I guess, or right. Because safety is going to be the thing that matters. And you could be wrong or right, but that doesn't mean you're going to be safe in this market. Who could move the market? Well, computers. CTAs, algos, banks. But retail has been buying left and right. You know that. I said that the other day. There was another report out this morning. Retail is nonstop buying. So if you look at fund data and like inflows and activity, The money coming from like retail accounts is insane. They're buying the shit out of this dip like it's no one's problem. Sullivan and Cromwell bolstering activism practice with new hires. Yeah, they're all fake wicks, bro. Be careful today, especially if you're watching my screen. I gotta refresh it if it does that. Eventually one of them's gonna be real, but yeah. Three crashes in 5 years is too many, and retail doesn't believe it. Yes, you're right. You just unlocked another one. So we'll talk about this on the watch list tonight. I'll go in like the real depth of it, and we'll go over the scenarios and what to expect. That's real to the downside. Hold on. That one to the downside was a little real. So yeah, low ticker picking up right now. Short-term velocity. Watch out. Ooh, damn. Watch out now. Dollar's still up. Again, silver I think is very fascinating today. But yeah, you're right. What you just said. Do you guys realize that what you have gone through doesn't happen too often? So this is every year and how the stock market moved. That's why I'm telling you, let's see where we're at by the end of the year. Because right now, you're here. Do you realize that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only been 7 instances where the annual return has been down 10 to 20%. Right now, you're down 15. So 01 in 2022. So this is actually very odd that you have moved like this. But again, like we talked about, 22, 23, those are big years, and then you usually get something. So, yeah, that's it. We've gone through a lot, and having these moves is kind of, this stands out historically, not, if we were down 5%, if this was gradual, this wouldn't really be anything. But no, things got shooken up. So, but that's why it either is going to stay in 10% of what we've ever done in the history of the market, or by the end of the year, that's going to come back to, reversion to the mean, and then we'll level out and see where it's really at. Swiss economic minister held productive meeting with U.S. Trade Representative Greer. So Swiss and trade. Swiss and U.S. Caring revenue. Watch the luxury brands. Is that real? No, it's not. Dude. But yeah, you got a comment here. Trade representative in the Swiss. And then again, you literally have Caring. Forecast revenue of $4 billion. Caring missed. So watch if any luxury or clothing plays go down. No one's reacting yet, to be honest. It's very weird. So watch out. You might get a drop on some of those. But you literally have Gucci Caring numbers coming out. If you close red, that would be bad, yeah. Because that means you would sell off like 3%. Yeah, they got a little worse, but maybe it could have been worse reaction. Be careful. Lagarde, Powell is doing what is needed to serve the U.S. people. Dude, you're going down. The candles to the upside. You're about to break the low. So watch out, 5,400, that already broke. So like I told you guys, you still could go down another 1% and be halfway here. And then every time we've gotten above 5,447, we dumped. So let's see. Lagarde to Washington Post conference. I'm reassured by the competence of Chair Powell Reserve, or Chair of the Federal Reserve Powell. The financial system was already earlier. It was kind of a disappointment. BESSENT just criticized the World Bank, China, and the IMF. Okay, they're going down. Okay, about to hit the new low again. You kind of sold off from that one level. Gucci Kering face difficult start to year. When was the last time we were here? Oh, nice. That's the gap down zone. Perfect. So this is easy. So if you don't hold this shit, you're just gonna you have 5367 next, and then like 5337, 5321, which you've already dealt with pretty much last couple days. But yeah, it's a big level. Otherwise, 5361, 5367. Watch that SPX on the downside. Tesla. No, those Teslas are still up. Boeing too. I'm mad at those Coca-Cola puts. They went up 50% and then stopped. Just like those SQQs on Monday. So this move brought the plays up 50, and then as it kept going, it just stopped. They won't catch a gain anymore. And then VIX is on the high now. VIX is still below 30. Again, Gucci Kering numbers. I haven't seen any retail move, but you're starting to pick up a little bit more now. Dump in. %. Good work. Good work. But take profits, though, because if you're flexing it before posting the play, that's not a good habit. So, you know, if you screenshot it or flex it, maybe take it. That's what they say. Damn, those SoFis came down. Still up 100%, but you had 400% earlier. 500. Yeah, so you're up 1.8 on the SPY. You've sold off about what? I want to say like 1.2% from the morning. NASDAQ sold off like 2. We were up 4.5 at one point. Yeah, I still have those other SQQs. They're kind of free, but I was expecting those to die. So you're gonna need real dumperoonie for those to wake, bro. That one play that we made the money on, that play died. That's what I'm saying. The way some people blamed BESSENT and Trump today is hilarious. Because like I'm telling you, before that Wall Street Journal article, those contracts were 80 cents. Or 8 cents. And there's another one where they were going for 20 cents. And then went to $1, $2. So, yeah, unfortunately, I do think that little rumor in the morning, that got the premiums even. That made, today wasn't bad. You gapped up, and those out of the monies were 20 cents. And they went for $200 after that. Post your call sales. All you got to do is if you're going to flex any play that you hit, I just ask that you posted it prior. So that's all. Otherwise, just make your money and you don't have to tell anybody how good you did. That's the beauty. Honestly, you'd be surprised. It'd help you out a little bit. The UK government will approve sunlight dimming experiments to combat global warming within weeks. What does that even mean, dude? What? There was cold water poured on some of the China stuff. I'd say that's the simple way to explain it. Did you hear that? Interesting. To buy an investment building with FHA? Well, not commercial. I don't think they'd qualify you. But it just depends. I mean, multi-units, they're usually in not the best areas. But if you could deal with it, I don't. FHA on a multi-unit's always great. All righty. New low below. Again, 10 more points. 5367 5361. Do you still believe in being long on hold until policy pivot? I'm not following the first part of what you said, but I do. I don't know if you're misspeaking, but I do believe that we're going to be in this same environment until we either get a pivot in policy or Powell. I think that the damage will remain until that occurs. Yeah, dude, the Tesla plays are still up, but a lot of other plays got washed right there. Yeah, a lot of the gains, you've pretty much given up half of what you had here in the AM now. Both NASDAQ and SPY. And then, but again, you're gapped up. Trump is spot on about some of Harvard issues, says Griffin. Oh, Ken Griffin? I think there's a conference going on right now. Because again, I think that's a Ken Griffin quote. So 5375, give it a little bit more. NASDAQ already plummeted. Again, you still have a long way to fill the gap. Currencies aren't going that crazy. I think this is that China thing. This is just like yesterday. Because yesterday you had random rumor, good news, whatever, and then cold water gets poured on it, and then we just kind of make that reaction. And then I think we'll start reacting, I think, once we get into the politics of today. And whenever they start going live and shit. Your Tesla charger? Oh, pray it doesn't blow up. You'll be good. I have them. There's no problems. No problems usually. Tesla. I don't know if Trump's going to go live, but I do think we need to hear about India and Japan. Mainly India, too, because J.D. Vance is over there. So we'll find out. Ludi, welcome. Right near the 20-day. It's good. We're chilling, though. A little bit. After all of that wildness. YouTube's 20 years old. No, thank you. Do you own Tesla? Not the stock, but I have cars. I own Tesla vehicles. Price $539. The high was $554, $544. Oh man! All right, this is just. It was a big day, man. That's what sucks, because whatever cold water in this reaction, like you just went down for an hour, but you're still up on everything. Again, it's there. You don't like driving them? No, I love driving them. I don't like driving them a lot. I like them in the city. I hate them when I'm not in the city. I don't drive them when I have to go anywhere long, or if I have a big day of driving, I literally cannot use the Tesla. It's very inconvenient. That's why I hate every EV, because when I drive a lot. I either drive a ton or I'm in the city and I'm just little quick stops here and there. So, but yeah, just too difficult. Overnight in China. That's kind of what happened yesterday. You had a big overnight move, went up, and then again, BESSENT comment, whatever, and then again, cold water, and then we're still kind of elevated. Wifing back. Yeah, if you don't have to, like again, it's not good for, like, real estate stuff, like driving around, it's fine, but if you have to, like, go back and forth, go one here, if you got to hit the bank, the post office, Then you got to go to a real estate site and then come back, get food. It doesn't work. But other than that, though, it is, if you got minimal destinations in the city, I'm a big fan. It's one of the coolest cars. I've always said that. Lagarde levies probably more disinflationary than inflationary. What? And God bless you. Seeing tariff impact in PMI high. That's amazing. See? Lagarde just said what I told. I'm glad they're saying it. See, they need to start saying the truth. But yeah, Lagarde says levies are probably more disinflationary than inflationary. Net effect of tariffs is still uncertain. Well, there you go. That sounds reasonable. They watch the stream. Well, good. I applaud these people. You speak the truth. You say it the right way. I have nothing bad to say. So even if it is Christine Lagarde, I mean, that's why I said God bless her. Good for her. I like to see the truth being said by these people. You know, we used to look at these people for guidance and info, and they got to become leaders. And at one point, I really felt like they led a lot better. But, you know, so it's a good thing when you hear that. Almost half a decade. That's crazy. Ain't that shit crazy? The requirement to become a world leader is to have a bad tan or something. You know, I like that joke. Because across the aisle, you're so right. I say, maybe I need to get my bad tan. I got tan. I got burned. You know that? I went from pale to, by the end of that day, you guys know I got sunburned from just sitting out there in the sun waiting for while my girlfriend shops. That's crazy. But yeah, I need to get tan again, bro. I would look 20% swoller if I was tan. I'm just pale as shit. I don't know, Josh. Orange is a good color. You should try it. Orange. Orange. I like it. Essilor Luxottica, first quarter revenue, 7.3. Estimate 7.1. That's Ray-Bans. I'm not brown at all. I'm brown by, like, birth. Like, I was a lot darker, but then I just started fucking making money on a computer, and now I don't go outside. So, things changed. Yeah, dude, I'm pale as shit. Nah, there's my shoulders are sunburned. All right, whatever that, again, ever since that little BESSENT reiteration in the cold water, you haven't had any updates. Again, Lagarde talking, China-U.S. talks will likely be a key trade negotiation. I don't know, the last 48 hours of Lagarde, she's been different. No GT3 near you. So, I don't know, but Ramzan, you need to figure it out. You just made a lot of money, I feel like, because you're going between Porsche GT3 and building. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I know what it feels like. That's why I'm saying this. Trump says Zelensky's statement is harmful to negotiations. You made a lot of money because of you. I know, so are you ready for my next tip? 30 days. Yeah, wait 30 days. So no Porsche, no house. I want you to sit on that money and don't lose it. Can you do that for me? Trump says Crimea not even a point of discussion. Yes, that was from 2014. That's all you got to do. 30 days. Don't spend it. You could shop, but don't do anything. That's all. Just don't lose the money. Get used to the money. That's what I want you to do. But either way, it's going to either turn into a house or a GT3. So that's all we got to do. You know, but the point is, don't come into a lot of money and then fuck it up by, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this now right away. Just slow it down. It is. In the vlog, if you did watch my vlog, a 911 Turbo S is faster than a GT3. A lot of people don't know that. You know that? Because I was going to buy one, but then I thought about their false advertising. But literally, a Turbo S is faster than a GT3. So the GT3 is just a track car. I don't know if you guys realize that. So, I would buy a Turbo S, to be honest with you, because a GT3 is that's not a comfortable car. That's a fucking track car, bro. It's not you're not going to drive that around as a daily or on the side. It's not. But if you want speed and something that you could drive and kind of unassuming, but then faster than a Huracan, the Turbo S is the one. Yeah, there's no manual, yeah. But and I think that says a lot about exactly, one's for comfort and the other experience. The other is literally a track car because everybody loves the GT3, but it's not once you drive one, it's not for everybody. I know a lot of you called out Trump coin, but I don't know. And then Trump just posted on Truth Social about Zelensky, huge paragraph. Trade migration concerns dent U.S. tourism. J.P. Morgan. Oh, that was probably your Airbnb drop. That J.P. Morgan comment. That's not real. I know they're hoeing us, bro. Your email. I think. Are you the car guy, bro? Because I saw an email, but we have a lot, dude. Believe it or not, there is a lot of Tim Brady's. You know that? Or there's Tim Brody, Tim Brody. You know how many names are very similar to yours? So I don't know if that was you, but there was someone named Tim B with cars, and I was like, bro, I looked at what you did, bro. You have some fucking great work. So good for you, man. I really, really, that was awesome. I will be hitting you up if we do any car photos. So that was nice. I was very impressed, man. I love it. Let's get you that crib in long term too. Tim Brady is your best friend's dad? Yeah, it's a Tom Brady. He's like Tom Brady, but Tim Brady. Your unassuming Rogue? The Nissan Rogue? Man, I feel bad that they hoed Nissans, bro. We were talking about it the other day. I remember back in the day, Nissan was a top-tier car. And then homeboy got involved in the scam, and then I don't know why. They've been now people like Kias more than Nissan. I never thought I'd see the day. You know a car I really loved when it first came out? We really wanted this car. When it first came out, somebody will know what I'm talking about. The Nissan Frontier. How many of you were alive when that first dropped? I remember when they released the Frontier in America. That was a cool car, bro. I wanted it. I wanted a Nissan Frontier. I think this was 1999. I swear. It was a good-looking car, bro. I still think the right spec looks clean. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good time, bro. That was a good time. All right, you're going lower. Do not fall for those fake candles on the screen. Just tell it oh my gosh. See, I even refresh it and it turns fake. That's another Chad saying Trump coin pop. So when one person calls it out and then no one else, that means it faded. If the second person calls it out, that means it's going. And then if like 10 people call it out, that means it's like breaking out. That's how so I don't look until you guys go. It's really, really crazy. If it's like a shit coin. That's how you do it. SPY is just tweaking out. Yeah, see, now they're like, it's really going up. So yeah, maybe you want to look at it. 10, 20%. You don't think you mean Frontier? Nope, I know exactly. Nissan Frontier. The truck. The 4-door, though. I like the 4-door. No, I want the one, and it had like this like little like thing on the truck bed that made it look so fire, bro. Maybe it was a 01, not a 99. Yeah, bro. Right here. Yeah, bro. This car. This was the car. Right here. I'm showing you this as the SPY's about to hit a low, but you are technically up 2.6. Yeah, bro. That car. I think it's still good looking. And then more Trump coin call-outs in the chat. Take that how you please. But then again, SPY's going lower. Just unfortunately, you have 10 more points. So we'll start like really reacting 10 more points. Because that next level, if it breaks, we'll probably fill the gap. And then if we hold that next level, you'll probably be bouncing around. But we're just burning some clock right now. Toyota's a better truck, but at the time, that looked better than a Tacoma. I think a 01 Frontier looks better than a 01 Tacoma. Telling you, bro, that was a dope car. Said no shot. I guess we'll agree to disagree. That's what I'm saying, bro. Nissan used to be good, like amazing back in the day, bro. Would it be a good time to invest in real estate? Yeah, if they did do Operation Twist, yes. That would be great for real estate. That's literally, go look at real estate when that happened. But yeah, that would be amazing for real estate. I think that would be a moment to buy REITs. Good question. My Nissan moves in. Mm-hmm. Oh, don't even talk about the S10. Because now if I start talking S10, the Chad's going to think I'm a cholo. Because I swear to you, I also wanted a S10 on bags with shaved door handles. They don't feel me, bro. They don't feel me, bro. I also thought that was an amazing car. Yeah, literally bag that shit, and then just shave the handles. Oh, they don't know, bro. That's fake. Calm down. Calm down. Okay, I can't tell what's happening right now, actually. Because now my thing won't literally give me a normal candle. Okay, you got a little bounce there. 6 points. What is shaving the door handles? It's what every car company does nowadays. But back in the day, it was a really like custom car thing. So like you ever see, like go look at the Tesla Cybertruck. It has no door handles. That's what shaved door handles is. Back in the day, like even in like 1999, people would you would shave off the door handles, fill it in, and it would look like your car didn't have door handles. And it was a really cool look. And they did it on these like mini trucks a lot. Oh. Now it's kind of like the Range Rover has shaved handles. Like that's why the handles pop out now. And Teslas, they do that a lot. Yeah, the Velar. You got it. You had to install door poppers. You would have a popper and you'd hit the remote and then it would just pop the door open. Netflix. All right, going lower. Netflix right on the day. That's kind of crazy, actually. And then oil, remember that OPEC rumor has not been rebutted yet. So usually it does. And then Boeing gave up from there, but you're hitting a new low. Again, that little pop was fake. BESSENT won't target. That was earlier. Yeah, that's coming out again from Japan. We had that BESSENT stuff in the cold water. That's when those headlines came out, and that's where we're coming down. From Project 2025 to mini trucks. Oh, I know, man. I have range, bro. That's why I say, don't judge too soon. You would be surprised, and I think a lot of us share experiences, and that's why we should be together. You know that? It's us against the market. We're the real Occupy Wall Street. Fuck these dudes. They don't feel me, bro. So amen. And protect yourself and be safe, and let's get a law term, and yalla. Personal property. Trump ally holds talks with Syrian leader on sanctions. Pre-ordering. I thought they canceled the Switch 2. Mini Chad. That's so funny, bro. I love the Chad. Because we have so many different segments of the Chad. So we got like tuner Chads. I did not realize how many of you guys had mini trucks. That's so fucking dope. Y'all lived one of my dreams I have not gotten to live. You know that? I was too poor. I couldn't do it, bro. That's it. The only one I was able to act on was the Honda. My JDM dreams, that was the only thing I could afford back then. And then I made my money, and then I lived my other dreams. But some of y'all take enjoyment in that, bro. You know that? I love it. And I hope you do, man, because those are great things. Those are the little things in life. 92 B22. Oh, you got an engine swap, dude? A little Japanese engine, dude? Ordered. Or is that the Mazda? All of these candles are fake, you guys. Don't fall for it on this screen. This happens on the rumor days. You know it? Like, every time you get the random rumor that makes us go nuts, that's when you get these. The OPEC news was earlier. They said that OPEC, it was Reuters, and right on this drop, they said that OPEC is planning to reaccelerate more oil dumping, pretty much. $5,376. That's crazy. You had an EG hatchback. I was a poser. Dude, I just had a Prelude with an exhaust. That's it. I didn't even have an air filter. I wanted it, but I was like, it's too expensive. That's it. And then I put stickers on the car. I was a poser, man. I think you guys were like working. You guys had jobs and shit. You guys were older. And then y'all lived it, though. I did not. Like, I was a poser. No, mine was an H22. You didn't have to swap. Mine came H22 from the factory, but it was a 5th gen. But yeah, I only put an exhaust on it. It was a 97, 5th gen though. I loved it. I love that car, bro. You had a Infiniti G35 and felt like a man back in 2016. I would have thought you were, bro. Even then, that car is nice. H20, that's one of the best engines out there. Bar, what is it? The J whatever for the Supra? That's the other, that's better. But H22 is a great engine. Trump coin moving again? That's a lot of call-outs from the Chad, so... Yeah, the 2JZ, yup. That's the best engine. That's a wicked engine. Okay, 5372. Get ready, though. The next, little flush. Like I told you guys, this is where we're going to... You either bounce off this or flush, and then gap fill will be on watch. It's 30% now on Trump coin. Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't. I haven't pulled it up, but again, you guys have been talking about it. Interesting. Oh, yeah. Wasn't there an unlock event? But why would that go up? Usually. So be careful then. It might dump. That might just be to dump on you. Because if they unlocked it, it should be bad. But that's weird. It's up 30. They're building a 97 Prelude now? Oh. Oh. That's beautiful. Yeah, it might be. So be careful with that. Like I say, and if they just unlock tokens and it's up 30%, I don't like that. Because again, unlock is saying that usually on unlocks, that means they could sell more and cash out. So that means supply will go up. So it's usually not a good thing. So just be careful. If you weren't going to buy Trump coin already, I wouldn't buy it because it's up 30% after an unlock. Okay, you're still going down. This is, like I'm saying, this is going to be our reaction zone. 5-3-6-5. So give it like one. You pretty much 6-7's the top end. 6-2 is the low end. If we can't hold here, watch for any overshoot. But if you can't hold, there's like baby levels. But I think you're more likely to fill the gap if this doesn't hold. So if you don't hold 53.62, I think the odds of gap fill start to skyrocket. Oh, so that's it. Fidelity, they reinvested my NVO, but I believe Schwab did not. I have to check. Gap fill to the downside, yes. Because that's from yesterday. It was a big gap up and a big run because of the rumor, and then we're back up. So that's why I'm like, dude, we're still up 2%, even though you sold off 2% in the last hour. So it feels kind of bad, but then you have the cushion. But like I'm saying, this was the other gap down from just like 2 weeks ago. You played these same points. That's why it's not like that crazy. But if it breaks there and doesn't hold, just more likely, I can't say it will happen, but it just becomes more likely that we'll have the gap fill to the downside. So I don't have a play on it. I'm not doing anything. I'm just calling this out. I have never traded options on Fidelity. I've done covered calls and it was difficult, and I don't like Fidelity options, to be honest. I've only done it for covered calls. I've never traded it, but most people tell me it's not that easy. You get NVO dividend? Yeah. NVO is like 2%, I think. It's not a lot, but, you know, back in my day, 2%, we used to love that. But then again, rates were at 0. So... yeah, it's like 2%. It was like 2.4 at one point. Can confirm Fidelity terrible for trading. Yeah, I haven't heard good reviews on trading. Long term, no problems at all for Fidelity. I remember doing a covered call, and I was just like, why is this so convoluted? So I was able to figure it out because I've traded options my whole life. But other than that, I was like, dude, this is fucking... so unnecessary. Okay, you're at the level, big dog. 361. Now you're lower. So this will be the overshoot. Otherwise, if we run away from here, just be on watch for gap fill. The divvy, nah, man. TD Ameritrade, our first dividend calculator. Nothing will ever top that. I can't believe it. Okay, 5360. That's bro. You've literally sold off 2%, a little more in like an hour and a half. And then again, Euro close was an hour ago. That is kind of where you dumped. E-Trade is kind of broke. I mean, that's what happens on these days we get the rumors. That's when you get those dumbass wicks. $760. Oh, you're talking about Bookmap. That's the bubbles you're talking about. I don't have the... I got banned from my terminal at Bloomberg because they're haters. But the you're talking about Bookmap. Yeah, I think it still exists, but they don't offer it on TD Ameritrade anymore. And then those Coca-Cola puts went up a little bit. My email is tradingfraternity@gmail.com, but I've not been looking at my emails during the market. So be careful. Or if you're expecting something there, you might have to wait. Bookmap switches tickers every week. Yeah, because we figured out the hack with the SPY, and then I think that, yeah. No, it's not too aggressive. It's just cold water. It's a weird version of yesterday. We relief. We hear good things. We relax, even get a BESSENT rumor, and then later they're like, well, it'll take months, years. Oh, it's not unilateral. And then pretty much, you know, people really added some weight on Trump's China comments last night. And then this whole idea that it's not unilateral, it just says that he's not cutting first. But yeah, that's what makes this difficult, because you did sell 2% intraday, but you're still up 2%. And that's why. So it's a little give back. I don't think it's gotten really bad, but, you know, it could if this fades. That's the volatility and choppiness we're in. But for now, we're right there in the middle. Trump accuses Zelensky of prolonging killing field. Yeah, that could have been the Truth Social from a little bit ago. You're right at that level, though. I'm surprised we didn't move quickly. So let's see. Bonds are kind of horrible, but it's still up. You see what I'm saying? Like, selling off 2% is never good, but now it's still up 1%. It's just too big. Trump coin pop because of dinner offer to top holders. Oh, really? Oh, fuck yeah. I'm going to go see Trump. Woo! Oh, hell yeah. I didn't know. Is that real? Trump coin dinner. Yeah, rumors fuel I don't think it's confirmed. No, so be careful. Oh, Adidas profit. Check Nike. Yo, Adidas coming out with earnings right now. 610 million euros, gross margin 52, operating 99. I don't know how that stacks up, but usually Nike moves big off Adidas report. But yeah, that there's rumors, but it's not confirmed. I didn't even hear about that rumor. But yeah, there's a rumor there. A little research. But it's not like a confirmation. Trump did not say that, nor did he confirm it. It's just motherfuckers speculating on the idea. It's a good idea. I don't know what that person should probably get into Hollywood, but yeah, just a rumor. Okay, well, hold on. They're saying it's on the web. I haven't been to trumpcoin.com in a while. It's not one of my top domains. Please hold. You think Trump is in my room? I mean, even then, bro, even lending tips was getting suspicious. Because I've been hitting some shits, bro, and he's been like, do you work? He's even asked me if I work for Trump. I don't. You know that? Do you guys realize I make some very aggressive clowns? Like, you know that? Like, I throw a lot of, like, aggressive jokes. So I don't even know if Trump really likes me. You know, I don't think he would, to be honest. I don't see it on the website. So I don't know. I do think it's rumor. Because I'm on the official website of it, but I don't see the dinner. Some people are saying it is, but yeah, like I was saying, I'm just cautious. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just cautious in the sense of I know that they're releasing more coins. So just be careful. But I don't see, you guys just told me, I see the rumor, but I don't see, they said it was on the website. Where? Confirmed on the official Twitter? Does it have a Twitter or is it Truth Social? Yeah, 2 minutes ago, the top Trump coin holders, well, this is on the Twitter. That's the only one I see. Is this official? I'm following this, so I think it is the official one. We'll have a private dinner with President Trump, the top Trump coin holders, on May 22nd. Click. Oh, yeah, it is on the. It's a different tab. /dinner. Oh, wow. Yeah. 220 will be invited. Oh, I don't think I'm in the top 20, you guys. I made a fuck ton though. I don't think you guys realize that. But I don't think I'm that special. I did really good, but I'm not special. So, which I told you yesterday on the Philo. Top 25, you're invited to exclusive reception. But yeah, that is confirmed now. Well, there you go. It does look fake. All of it looks fake. That's how we made a fuck ton of money off of it. But at the end of the day, that is confirmed. Good work, you guys. Way to work with me on that. Yeah, that was, like I said, I'd still be careful, but there is a rumor and a confirmation. That was 2 minutes ago, that tweet. Can you give me free golf lessons if I decide to go? I'm not a top 25. I made a lot. I cashed out a lot, and I still own a lot of free everything, but I'm not top 20. So, unfortunately, I don't got the juice like that. They're saying that the top 25 shareholders of Trump Coin will be invited to a dinner with Donald Trump. But that's also being announced on the day that they release more coins, which is sketchy. So be careful. No, I don't think you have to pay for it. That's going to get interesting, though. Because now, the question is there 20 rich people in the world who would spend that money? Let's see. No, it's impossible. So pretty much now, at the current market price, $15 million. It said top 220? No. I thought it said top 20. See, this is the problem with all this Trump shit. All this Trump coin shit just look hella fake and it's hella confusing. Okay, then maybe I am going. So that changes it drastically. Yeah, that means if you have 800 grand in it, you're going. So yeah, I think there's 220 people who would spend 800 grand to see Trump. Not 15 million. Oh, 25 was for the reception. So yeah, I might qualify. But then I'd have to reveal my identity. I think listen, as somebody who owns a lot of this shit, and I made a fuck ton off of it, and in the nature of what I do and tell you guys, I think it's kind of a plot, to be honest. Like I'm saying, although I think it's good that they're offering something for the coin, but I can't shake what I've told you from the beginning. They are offering you an incentive on the same day they are adding more supply. I don't like that. So that's why I'm telling you, be careful. Unless you want to spend 800 grand to visit Trump, that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? But it does seem like this is more of a ploy to, get some people back on this shit. So I already made my shit free again. I cashed out a long time ago. My life has changed. But at the end of the day, yeah, don't do something dumb right there. But you never know. If people get hyped on it, it goes crazy. Don't get mad at me if it does. But, we've been talking a lot about safety. And, again, even with what I have, I'm not here to, like I'm telling you, the good news aligns with some bad news. And I think that's interesting. Yeah, it'll act as a bidding system the same day of more supply. I hate that. Yes, exactly. I think that's a great way to look at it. And that's where you got to be careful. And that's why for the uneducated, if you think this is going to, this ain't, do you see what I'm saying? There's both good and bad competing at a crazy level on something that is very unregulated and has already gone through a shitstorm. There's more to life than money. Trump 800K is a steal. You could just get a golf membership at Mar-a-Lago, right? You guys know that? You guys know Mar-a-Lago is a golf club? And you could get a membership? So if you get a country club membership at Mar-a-Lago, you could just golf at Trump's house? And he'll be there golfing randomly? Did you know that? Yeah. I think there is a waiting list. But yeah. I know this. You don't need that's cheaper than 800K. Crypto pop now? Honestly, it might. I didn't even think about it. Because even then, you saw how long it took me to figure out that rumor. You see what I'm saying? So maybe this injects some risk on into the markets. Ugh. I hate all of these plays. Trump crypto 9 to 4. Because that doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. Something just changed big. You see what I'm saying? That's why I don't care about the little shit. I don't care about the price is going up, it's going down. That's why I ignored it up until, again, and then they're like information, new development. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's why we did that. Nike reacted to Adidas like I told you guys it would. Yeah, and they're already jacking these up. Oh, VKTX, yeah. Well, or if they do too good, maybe NVO goes down. Oil's trying to catch a bid. SPY fell off. People kind of poured cold water, walked back a little bit of the China stuff that Trump said, and that things will take time, and then it's not unilateral. And then other than that, just the general vibe, not firing Powell and other things. People are feeling good. Yeah, it's not even 10. It's crazy, Habibi. Oh, I didn't even think about Google. A lot of energy, a lot of focus. No, I only think this crypto thing is the get rich quick thing that's weird about it. But that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of us are out of touch. Even though some of you guys, a lot of you guys are in the real world, but I think getting used to the stock market fucked up a lot of people because, yeah, like the get rich quick Solana, that's weird. Again, I was even surprised. That's why I'm surprised I made money on it, but that was weird. Again, the pardoning of Travis Milton, fucking weird. I don't like it. That's scammy. Again, some of these things, then Melania, but that's the element that I think is weird. But the other part is look at gas is down, bro. Certain items, and if we actually bring dude, this has been more accessible to even get into stocks to a degree. So I think the crypto part is bad. I don't think it looks good. It was weird, but at the end of the day, I think there's other parts that are going to help out other Americans that we are not going to benefit off of. And I think some people need to get used to that. Again, I like it when BESSENT says Wall Street got to win and now it's time for Main Street's turn. And that's where I'm saying that means lower houses. That means lower stocks. That means lower day-to-day goods. Again, people having an opportunity to make money not off of just a computer or not only by doing, again, having to cave to certain ideologies to get into high-income industries. So I think all that could be good, but I do think the crypto part of this administration does not look pretty. So recession, kind of, yeah, to a degree. It all depends how you handle it and how people react, right? So if you do all of that and the people don't handle it well, you know what I'm saying, and react really negatively and panic and overreact, then it'll be worse. But again, you saw what happened in 2022. You were going to have a recession. Everybody just worked together and promoted the same propaganda, and we avoided it. Yes or no? So, yeah. But technically, causing this little rebalancing would cause pain, and it could bring on a recession. But how deep, how aggressive, how impactful, that'll depend on everybody as a whole. If Biden launched the coin, yeah, that would have been terrible. I would have felt the way too. I would have bought it still. Fuck that. If I got it that early, I would have been like, this dude weird, but fuck, I'm just the president of the United States, sir. No, all these candles are fake. Ever since the little rumor, had a very glitchy day on E-Trade. Yeah, the Trump coin didn't sit well with you. I agree. It sucks that I made a lot of money off of it, but yeah, I had to react. But then again, there's that whole give $40 billion to Pfizer and then force America. That changed my views too. But that wasn't Trump. You see, so every administration got a couple things, I feel like. So you pick your poison, literally. You made $50K on Trump? Nice, but you're a pumper. Because you called out every move on Trump going up, and it's good. We got to verify stuff, but you didn't say you had a position. So you got $50K. That means you bought Trump coin, went to a chat room, tried to get people hyped up, and then it goes up, and then you brag about it. So if you ever want to be unbanned, I will need $5,000 from you. Nate Fryer. I will never forget that name. You owe me $5K now. You don't technically owe me, but I'm just saying, So other than that, we don't like pumpers around here. Chilling. That's it. What time is it? 10 yet? Oh. Whew. God bless you. God bless you, baby. So I'm saying, try it, you guys. Try it. Make a bag. I want you guys to make a bag and don't tell anybody. Let's see. You guys would be surprised. It might change your life. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. That's all. Otherwise, because you could have, all your comments would have been good without the flex. You see what I'm saying? But it does, it literally looks hella pumpy, though. If with that chat fact, it's hella pumpy, bro. So I don't take it personally. I hope you guys don't either. But like I'm saying, for everyone's emotions, keeping them safe, the goal of what we're doing, So, yeah. That's the goal. Blow up and have nobody know. Amen. And not blow up your account. Do good. And but that's what I'm saying. Watch, bro. You have to get to the point in your life where you could do good things and you appreciate it because it was good in and of itself. You get what I'm saying? I don't need anybody to tell me I'm great. I don't need anybody to be happy for me. I don't need anybody to be impressed with what I just did. You know what I'm saying? It's going to change your life. Promise you. It's a whole new outlook on everything. So that's what it is, you guys. And like I'm saying, it's better for everybody. It's going to help you stay humble. And above all else, it'll keep everybody on the info. And that's it. And then honestly, and if you know, you know. You lock in and you don't have to influence anybody. You don't have to get influenced, and be safe. And that's it, man. And that's how we do it. I'm trying to put y'all on game. That's all. I don't know if you think I'm the bad guy for upholding these rules, but I'm really trying to show y'all something. If gold starts moving back up, that's negative. Because remember, we rallied today and gold went down. Silver was up the whole time. Be at work, baby. Let's go. I know I'm mad. Shit, if I held the first one, it would have hit. Not the one from today, the one from yesterday I sold out of. It could be. I'm telling you, look, if gold starts going up, that's not good. I think we'll fill, if gold starts going green, we're going to fill the gap. Because gold went down on today's rally. All of the run-up, gold was getting obliterated. Silver is a different story, but that's why I'm like, if that starts to flip, that's just money coming out and going right back into gold. Ukraine military says it hit Russian drone production site in Elabuga. Prince Ali, Elabuga. Strong as 10 regular tariffs equal as he. He said no China deal. And then he said there's a deal. And now everybody is confused and they all sell all of their stocks. Prince Ali. Sorry, I was getting my jacket, so I had time to yell. I've been summoned. What up, baby? What? Your little sister just turned 16, got her first job, first paycheck, and she wants you to help her open up a long term? Wow. That's so amazing, man. God bless. You have no idea. Nice, bro. I'm really happy for you because my sister is liberal, and I can't ban her. I can't ban her. So, you know, that's it. So, and that's great. You should be. That's a good proud brother moment. You really should be, bro. You got your sister like, yo, I want to invest. Like, I just got a job, bro. You know, yeah, I'm not the mod of that channel. I told the mod, she threatened to ban me. Because I told mom, I was like, let's just ban her, bro. And my mom said that she's going to ban me. She said that's not how it works. So that's bullshit. No, that's hype, bro. Good work. See, that's what I'm saying, man. I don't know. I think a lot of y'all can have really good impacts, and that shit is very, very valuable. And, like, low-key, bro, like, you guys need to stop trying to convince people. You know that? Especially if you've been here for half a decade. Watch. You don't need to say shit. You know what I'm saying? You should have results that will make people come to you. And that's why. You don't need to convince anybody about a long term. You don't need to have to fight with people about it and get into all of this. It's like, for real, man. And I that's why I'm proud of you, Zach, because I think you had a good example to where a young lady would even approach you, your own sister, and be like, yo, you know, I want to do this. You know, I think you set a good example that made it attractive. And you know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind for all of you. Make it attractive. And you don't really have to explain a lot. I mean, you could just show it. DJT as a hedge, no. Bro, from Kamala till now, I've never been a fan of DJT. That's what I'm saying. Like, an extremist can't get this through their heads on both sides. I just don't like it as a stock. The SPAC and everything, you know. I think you could flip it, but, like, I wouldn't hedge with DJT. And I would, honestly, I just wouldn't. I don't like that company. I don't like that as, like, an investment. I don't think it's It's good, especially when it's still high. You know, maybe if it ever got to like $1, yeah, as a flip, that's a different story. I think, you know, but no long term, no like, don't fucking pair trade that bitch and try to turn it into some elaborate strategy with DJT. I'm not buying it. Yeah, but short term, I think short term it'll offer opportunities here and there. But I've had trouble trading it. DJT, the options move hella weird. So just be careful. I think you got to be a little bit in advance of it. But yeah, I'm not against trading it. Just short term or playing it on news and volatility, that's okay. But I don't make the mistake of falling in love with him. You're like, oh my God, my president, I'm buying. No. We don't know if Trump is speaking technically. So they've kind of been hush-hush on that. But I do think we have India, J.D. Vance. And even then, I don't know if that's even confirmed on the schedule today. So we will see, my friend. EPWK. And then we're just slowly working our way up. Bro, isn't it wild that it's already 10, you guys? It does not feel like 10. It feels like 7 a.m. right now. I feel like the market just opened. Is that just me? Or is that what happens when we move like this? Because you are halfway done with the day, big dog. It's kind of crazy. Just you. It's noon here. I guess the weather, it's not sunny outside, but yeah, it's not there. 7 p.m. in Europe. Whoa. It's all fake. Damn it. Let me go to the bathroom. Follow me on Instagram at The Trading Fraternity. I should have asked you when there was a lot of y'all, but it's okay. But you might need it now. But would you like to buy a membership? Can somebody just please buy one? Just one? That's all I ask for today. Because you will need it in like 5 to 10 minutes. It will give you something special. AKA access. But I'll be right back, okay? And thank you for everybody who has already supported. But God bless America and the vets. I'll BRB.
States that I just mentioned are working towards. Do you see people holding off on making purchases until that goes through, or does that not factor in?
I haven't really seen it. Again, you know, the luxury market's a little bit less sensitive to those types of things, and New York City is very unique in that way. It's also sort of been baked in that we didn't have the SALT deductions for a while already, so people got used to it. I think that if we end up back with the SALT deduction, that might push somebody over the edge. But, you know, the fact is that one of the reasons why people continue to buy, and that's happening right now, is that rents are very high, and people have to live someplace. So if you have 2 to 3 kids, and you're in a 2-bedroom apartment and you have to move and you're looking at the option of either renting or buying, the rents have gotten so high that has pushed people into buying.
Interesting. All right, we got to leave it there. Lisa, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Lisa Littman with Brown Harris Stevens, talking us through the real estate market, particularly in New York. I'm Scarlett Fu. That does it for Bloomberg Markets. Balance of Power with Kelly Lyons and Joe Matthew is up next at the top of the next hour. From New York, this is Bloomberg.
Even a life that's rich with meaning can take an unexpected turn. And when life brings you change, we have over 100
Yeah, that's why you should repent and
navigating
seek
market
the Lord.
ups and downs.
The fuck? Not a financial manager. Stupid. What do you mean life changes fast and everybody dies and you should value what matters? Go get a portfolio? What? Oh, look at all them members! So I'm fucking talking about. Thank you. Oh, wow. Look at this, man. Thank you, guys. I love you. I love you. But now let's be safe, okay? Let's be safe, all of you. Let's get it, bro. Let's fucking get it. Oh, man. Nice. I'm excited now, too. So less of you will miss. I should have told you. I always forget to tell you, though. Don't buy the membership if you don't want me to yell Jesus. You know, because I say Jesus stuff a lot. And I try my best to not bother some of you because I could I understand some of the people not as mature. So I don't want to that's why we do philo privately now. But, so I should have told you that prior. I don't want to misrepresent. So God bless you. Or just bless you if you don't want the God part. But thank you is what I'm trying to say. Alrighty. Wow! Marcus, Nick. Oh, the stock B, baby. Yeah, I love it. Let's get locked in. Jim W. Snapchat E5. I love you. JS, Moto, Ryan Walters, Marcus Hanlon, Roshane, Enrico, Anonymous, KS, baby. If I missed you, man, I still miss you. I miss you in spirit, but I love you, man. Thank you. And can I tell y'all something? I said it yesterday. And this will be the last thing for all of you. And then we will move on over to philo. And some of you may like this. Some of you may not. Okay? But, lately, we have been talking a lot about, locking in, right? And, and I think we've brought a lot of intensity. You know what I'm saying? I think we brought the energy. We flipped the switch. And we're working hard. And I'm telling you all of this. But I have been reminding you not to stress yourself out. And can I just remind you guys that locking in, that's real. That's real. You're going down. Please all look at that. I'm ready to go. Yeah, that's real. You flipped. I see Ukraine defense minister. Dude, everything just tweaked out. That was a real one. That was not a fake candle. I don't know what just happened. I just went from therapist to drill sergeant in half a second. That was a 20-point drop. Now you're back up. UK will not rush trade talks with US. Oh, that sounds bad, but that's good. I'm telling you, bro. No, that headline sounds terrible. Reeves, UK will not relax food standards to secure deal. That's bad. UK borrowing data reinforce importance of controlling public finances. So UK Reeves, that's what it is. I think not rushing isn't that bad, but that food standard, that's not good. You love me. I love you too, bro. I hope you see. That's why philo works for some people and it doesn't. Because I be hella going into rants, but if something happens, bro, I don't think y'all realize how fast I switch. That's welcome to ADD, mother. Then you got a bond auction too, bro. Oh, shit. Yeah, 4.00. This is 5 year or 7 year, I believe. 4.005. All right. So, yeah. We'll leave after the bond auction, so you guys will need your membership. So thank you to all of you who already did. 5 year? Okay, I think it's 70 million. UK announces measures to prevent future dumping of unfairly priced imports. Oh, dude, that's bullish. Fuck that. UK, they're defending against China dumping while kind of throwing shade at the US. I like it. That's not bad, bro. It's not bad. Wow. Trip, dude. Okay, and then there's bond auction 3995. So again, yesterday, short end was bad. The middle belly of the curve did good. They may not have announced Operation Twist, but that's what these auctions is looking like, big dog. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, but there's the philo one. And let me just tell you what I was going to tell you guys, though, for real. Before that little UK headline, it's just that I've been telling you guys to lock in, and you see the work and you see the effort. But, make no mistake, you guys. Don't stress yourself out when you hear that, okay? For real. And what I mean is, dude, locking in, you're going to still miss a play if you're locked in. You're still going to execute the wrong way if you're locked in. You're still going to sell early. You're still going to sell late. You're locking in does not mean you do everything perfect. Do you understand? Locking in means you woke up. It means you woke up on time. It means you made the plan and followed it. You get what I'm saying? Locking in means you're taking care of your responsibilities. You're taking care of your body, your health. You get what I'm saying? Locking in means I have things to do and I'm doing it. I'm doing it without anybody telling me. I'm going to do it because I love it and I enjoy it. And I'm going to look for ways to it. That's what it means, man. So I hope I can remind you that. Because I know we're getting a lot of opportunities. Some of you are killing it. Some of you are hitting it, missing it. But don't beat yourself down, bro. It's not this, you locked in, you got to get everything. No, locking in it's bigger than rap, dog. It's everything, and it's having stuff at your hands and making sure you're actually managing it and taking care of it. Not letting it slip, not letting it slide, not treating it like it's nothing, not procrastinating. You get what I'm saying? And if you do that consistently, my brother, you're going to notice how much easier this will get for you. All right? So on that note, man, if you want more of this, you might like Philo. Otherwise, if you hated what I just said, go back to trading your little candles, bro. We got our hits, baby. So there is the Philo link. I love you all. If I don't see you, I will see you around Power Hour, all right? Sound good? Sound good. Good. You have a wonderful day and peace.